A happy Thursday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by Mott's Clamato Caesar. Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with you here, and pleased to be joined by Evan Daum from the Edmonton Elks, who Dustin Nielsen thought you hated us, and that's why it's taken you this long to come see what we have here. But here you are. You are now inside EST headquarters.
I just wanted to make sure this was a legitimate operation. I've seen some good things here from you guys, so I decided I'd come out. So thanks for having me.
I also should have mentioned this prior. Just it's speaking into that part, not that part. Just
perfect. Hey, this is your studio. You should have told me that earlier.
I know. That's why I said it. That was my I wasn't trying to put you on the spot there. I should have said that.
Okay,
sooner. But I've been doing a lot of stuff, and Tommy could have also done that. When I was like running in and out of the room.
Oh, sorry.
Tommy's got other business to attend to.
I've had to turn the lights on. I've had to turn the board on. I've had to set that up. I've had to welcome you to the building today. I've had to bring Gager's
It's true.
mask
You're the only
here.
person who's made me feel good about being here, so I appreciate that.
Oh, ouch.
Thank you.
The best is when we're in my seats at Elks games and like Hernan will like look and give us the wave, and then Dahmer will just like look back and scowl and be like,
He doesn't want to acknowledge us at all.
I like that more than when he would be like, begrudgingly wave to us. So thank you, Dahmer. Please continue that. So I love this.
I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
You can hear it too in your voice.
It's the best.
I like all the fans that are in the building, just some more than others.
Yeah, well, we're at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to that for you. So I understand, respect, and acknowledge this. Please don't stop because I think it's great.
I can do that for you guys.
I don't think it's just. I think that's just who he is.
Yeah, maybe.
That's not a bad.
You came to the one game this year at Sat My Seats, and you're like, Dahmer.
Well, we got him. Oh, and I text him. We got Hernan to look at us, and then we got Rashog to look at us after we mocked his shoes.
Yeah, and we had to mock his boots. They were terrible.
The boots.
He had
Awful.
bad boots on?
The combination was ridiculous. Like baggy jean pants with like these boots that were unzipped. And it was just sloppy. Even you would be like, what are you doing, Ryan?
Rashog?
Yeah.
That's out of character. He's usually well dressed.
Usually, but in this instance, not quite. I don't know if something happened the night before. Maybe they had a little soiree in the gazebo or whatever he built in his backyard. And, he was rushed to get to the stadium for the Elks game that afternoon. But Shogger, God bless him, he's a good friend, but he likes to actually engage with us first, I believe, more so than we engage with him. Yeah, he's always looking over his shoulder to see if we're watching him. And we are. We are.
That day we were looking at him first.
Yeah, we did.
We kept trying to wave to him and get his attention first.
He knew.
So that was, I have to, in his defense, that was us, him. And then you just started ripping him. You went on Twitter, you grabbed the picture, and you just went at him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I had to.
That was the last home game of the year?
I think it was, because it was an afternoon. It was like a 2 o'clock
Yeah, it was the
kickoff.
Montreal game.
Yeah.
It was the Montreal game.
It was fun until like 3 minutes left in the second quarter.
I walked up and sat in, I couldn't go in the corner, but I went to the top row of Commonwealth for one last time.
Yeah.
Till it comes back. So I had to do the one last
pilgrimage.
sit up there. I love sitting in the upper deck. I understand fully why it's happening. And I've had those conversations with JMO for years. It's like, how haven't you guys done this? And so I'm like, it's the right move. But I had to go up there one last time.
A couple tears were shed that game for the upper bullies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
They'll be back one day.
Well, that's the thing.
like that.
It'll
Probably
come
home
back.
opener, actually, I hope.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. It will come back, but that's because now the city's come out and really supported the team, which is showing that, hey, we can open up the upper bowl again.
People want
and that's
to
the
support
key.
the
Like
team.
if we go and sell out, how much is lower bowl?
31.
Is it 31?
Yeah.
We go put in 31,000 people.
It's doable, man.
Let's start opening up that upper bowl.
Yeah.
Let's start it right now. Let's launch home opener tickets right now.
Can we?
We can't actually. Deb, our director of ticketing, would probably kill me if I asked her. Can we please launch home opener tickets?
Dahmer says right now, goelks.com.
There you go. You can buy season
by.
seats though. There you go. How about that?
I
We have 31,000 season seats, and everybody sits in the upper bowl. All the casuals.
yeah.
There's the key.
Yeah. Good point.
I like
easy.
that. You renewed?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I get a call every now and then or an email. Deb used to call me actually, but I think Deb probably called thousands of people. But I just like auto renew, so I just like leave it. It's like,
And it just
okay,
sets
yeah,
it up.
let's
Like
go.
you were tired of talk. Like, are you mad at Deb or something? Did
No.
you not like the calls?
I feel like I'm
Did
putting
you not
Deb
want to
out
talk
by
to
having
any of them?
to take her time up. No, it's auto renew. I just auto renew.
He's just of that generation. He doesn't like interacting with people to purchase items. He just wants to be able to go
As I
onto his
wave
phone. And
to him every game. So yeah,
That's me though.
he's a new age guy.
I like doing stuff where less human interaction. That's better. I'm happy. I know that surprises no one.
I know this about
that surprises no one, but that's what I'd prefer.
Like, it's fascinating.
It's like fast food places. Like I love like a mobile order or something.
I like going in.
You just walk in, you pick up what you need, and you walk out. You skip the line. You skip having to talk to someone, tell them your order. You skip having them maybe mishear you, or you have to go back. No, I could just do it all. Walk in, walk out. It's great.
Okay.
I bet you're a big AI guy too. Probably like
No.
everything replaced by computers.
Do you know what's good with AI? Writing stuff in cards. Like a card for someone.
I never thought
I'm not
of
good.
that.
I'm not good at those. Will Fraser would
Right?
say the same thing. Will Fraser was in and he said the exact same thing. You
Well,
need
Will
to write
Fraser,
something.
he's a smart guy. First of all,
Yeah, so I'm doing the same
was he on
thing.
last week?
Yep.
Earlier
this
this
week.
week. It was this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Thanks
It
for
was
tuning
one-
in.
It was one of your stronger shows. Will
'Cause
really
Will was
carried
here.
it. Yeah,
Will always carries it. Will always carries it.
he's such a beauty, man. I wish was he at the 6 o'clocker last night? The
No.
blogger launch. Okay.
He doesn't drink anymore, really.
Well, you could have come and said hi to people though. Still,
No, that's not Will.
no.
Like,
I like
it was
him
great.
more.
Will,
He's like you. He doesn't want to interact with people. I love that.
but he's also like we hadn't talked to Will in a while, and when he came in for day one of this, we're like, "What do you do?" He's like, "Nothing." He goes for runs, which is just the best. It's so
sounds
Will
pretty good.
You
Fraser.
should see his running outfits.
It brings him here and he changes before
Yeah.
he goes
Yeah.
out for his run after
Well,
he joins the
going for a
Hangout.
run.
He runs in the industrial area.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
he still drives somewhere,
Oh, okay.
but it's 9K run, and
I think he just wants to show off his body.
he's very small now. He's thin.
It's
He's looking
fit.
good. He's very fit.
He's fit.
He's very fit.
Yes.
When people get out of AM radio, sometimes it changes them.
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me like that? How do you think we've changed?
I think you guys have become even better people. I know some people that are still in AM radio, and they're still pretty good people, but you guys have elevated.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thanks, Daum.
Appreciate that.
How little did
I
you
think he's
think of us
laughing with all
before?
of that too. Can't keep a straight face telling us that.
I can't stop laughing. I love this.
By the way, Joaquin Gage, like,
Did he get back to you?
He hasn't got back to me yet.
Oh, okay.
Gager's supposed to be on every Thursday. He's supposed to be
Yeah.
on every Thursday.
Yeah.
Now, 2 weeks ago, he was sick, so he couldn't come on.
Right.
Last week, we were getting Corey Graham on. So it's like, hey, could you go to Tuesday? He's like, I can. I was like, okay, that's cool. And he's like, do you need me? I was like, well, I guess no. Like, we'll have Lucas, we'll have Corey, me, you were here.
Yeah.
But then I didn't text him this week. Like, hey, you still good for Thursday? Because Thursdays are his day.
That's his day.
And he's not here. I've texted him. He hasn't texted me back.
Joaquin, are you okay?
So we have Gager's mask
In honor of
idea of Evan to just put it here on
Great
the
idea.
chair.
You're in
So
spirit.
Yes.
we still have Gager in a way,
He's
but
always with us.
like I'm hoping he's okay.
Me too.
'Cause,
I'm
he
worried
also has
now.
2 guys in a goalie today.
Yeah, he's gonna be busy today.
We've got work to do with him.
He's gonna storm through those doors, glass shattering, like
Stone
Stone
Cold.
Cold Steve Austin. I'm here, and then he'll be like just rip roaring.
I think there's a little beef between him and I right now.
What happened? Oh,
2 reasons.
please.
Well, one was the 6 o'clocker lager you guys were drinking out at Hello Hockey.
Oh, you
And
were-
I had a text like, hey, you guys, no more. Like,
Yeah,
can't drink
all
those.
caps.
It was not all caps.
I feel like it was all caps.
It wasn't. You
can
can't say it
verify
feels.
that, can't
You
you?
can't say
Yeah.
it feels like all caps. It was or wasn't, and they weren't.
It seemed
true.
like all caps.
So like it's very black or white in that one, Tommy. You can't just.
when I read it, I read it.
He
as
just reads
if it
all
were-
your texts as all caps.
Yeah.
Stop yelling at me.
Why are you yelling, Matthew?
But that's because like we needed them and we had plans for them, and I was worried that you guys would like drink them all, and then when we
can see
needed to
that
do
worry.
things, we'd be out of them. So I think maybe there was a rough thing. And
Sorry,
two,
are you like the dad around here?
He is.
Don't drink all of those 6 o'clockers.
He is. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's cool. I like that.
he's
side.
finally texted me.
Well, is he okay?
I'm not feeling 100%. I don't want to be the reason EST gets the sniffles, and I don't like you.
But he knew both those things before 9 o'clock.
Is that a Gager update?
Yeah.
What do you say?
He said, I'm not feeling 100%. I don't want to be the reason EST gets sniffles, and I don't like you.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Not all caps, but
Thank you.
in a tone that I would assume Matthew would,
You can't
would be.
assume things.
There's no tone in
No
text.
more 6 o'clock loggers. Those were needed for a video for us to do with them.
That's it. I was just to the point.
What was the punctuation at the end, or was there any?
It's just a period, but that's how I assumed he
Just a
said
statement.
it. Yeah.
Hey, just a statement. Thank you, Evan. That's all it is. But also, then if Gager's the commissioner of an F1 league we're in, fantasy league,
Yeah.
and we all had to submit 2 teams in this year, not 1, 2. In F1, you put 2 cars out there,
Right.
And Matt Cassian is claiming he won the constructors title because he finished 2nd and 3rd. Tony Brar was the best; he had the championship, but Matt Cassian saying I won the constructors. I finished 2nd and 3rd, and Gager's like there is no constructors, and now but I'm like Team Cass here. I'm going Cass is absolutely the constructors champ
This is why Cass has been chirping on the F1 stuff.
because he's the constructors champion,
I would
and
agree
Gager
with that.
doesn't want to give in on this because he didn't finish 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. I think.
Okay. I'm glad I'm not part of this fantasy league anymore.
Fantasy F1.
Yeah, it's a
Wow.
lot. Dahmer, it's like
Wow.
it's cumbersome.
You want to know? It's like almost as much as fantasy baseball.
Yeah.
which I think is like one
That's
of
the worst.
Yeah,
It's
That's the
such
worst.
a
That killed fantasy for me. I was in some
Did you?
fantasy baseball leagues for a while, and I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever signed up for.
was
It's
it
more commitment than my actual life.
was it daily lineups or
Yes, daily.
Yeah,
It's too much.
it's
who's
a lot.
pitching, who's questionable, who's
out.
getting a day off. Like I did it one year. Finished 3rd oddly enough, but it was tedious.
The only good thing about the one I was in was the free agency pickups were only once a week, so it's not like you could do it all week. And I could then just set my lineup for the whole week. And to make it easier and stuff, like I had no batters. Like I just had enough to fill my team.
Yeah.
And then I just each day with the pitchers knew, okay, you're starting this day, you start next day, and just throughout the
plug in.
rotation. And
We had
actually did
guys like
decent.
picking up pitchers every day on the waiver wire and like it was such a pain in the ass. Yeah, no, thank you. It ruined it for me too. Not that I was ever very good at fantasy sports in general, but I'm like, no mas, I'm done.
No.
Yeah.
No.
There's a 3-time fantasy champion here of CFL fantasy football. Just like to throw that out there. 3-time CFL fantasy football champ. Now, Lucas Holt is 4-time. I got to give him the credit there in the San Antonio Texans. But the Sacramento Gold Miners, 3-time champ, including the first ever championship.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, your guys' league's pretty
It's-
funny.
What do you mean funny?
It's just amusing to
It's-
see the intensity. I appreciate it. I love it. That is the essence of the CFL, is the intensity of the fans.
We are like I am going to go to Grey Cup next year, and my whole goal will be to corner Randy Ambrosi.
I can't
Just-
endorse anything you say after this.
No, I know, but just to promote, like you need to do this. I will give you everything I have, Randy. You go to IT people, get it done. I will give you everything I have, and I will walk them through it.
And you know the beauty
Let's
of
get
that
this
is-
fantasy done.
You will actually have an opportunity to do that to the commissioner of the league.
That's the
If
we
you
do
had
the
that
Grey
idea
Cup.
for any other league, you'd be like, there'd be security swarming, you'd be tackled to the ground, you'd be thrown in the back of a paddy wagon, it would be over for you. You'd never watch another football game in your life or whatever sport if you're trying to go after that commissioner. But Randy'd be like, oh, he'd humor you. And then he'd go and turn around to someone and be like, that guy.
But that's also the beauty of the Grey Cup week is that you could actually literally run into almost anyone.
Yes. Well, and
that's-
you do. You do.
Like that's the thing. Like you go, like there is a chance you could be at Spirit of Edmonton, and all of a sudden, oh look, the commission's here.
Yeah.
Jeez, and go try to get a couple minutes with him.
It's
Or
the
something
best
like
week
that.
of the
It is.
year. I'm still depressed I wasn't there this year, but
Yeah, Hamilton seemed like a good time. Was that a you decision or you want to leave that?
that was I have a
Well-
group of guys that I generally go with, and we were in Hamilton 2 years ago, and they're like, we were just in Hamilton, like it's gonna be the same sort of stuff. I'm like, no, it's not. Like that was the COVID year.
Yeah.
It's entirely different. Plus when we went, we had an awesome time.
Right.
Like so what is wrong with you guys? And then I was trying to facilitate the trip just solo, and when I said to my wife, yeah, I think I'll just go by myself, and like Dusty said that I can hang out with him and like we could have a good time. And I know a whole bunch of people. She's just like, you're not going by yourself to Grey Cup because like what are you gonna do? And I was just like, the same thing I always do. And she's like,
Network.
No, I'm not allowing that. So I was disappointed.
No. Oh, Dahmer.
I've already planted the flag for next year.
Okay,
So-
good. Well,
Well, we're going.
We're going to be in the game.
that's right.
So
No, I like this attitude.
That's the way to look at it.
We're sending an EST
and we're going.
crew.
EST's
Yeah.
going.
absolutely,
We're there
you
to
guys-
cover stuff. Like
Hell
we
yeah.
We will. That's part of next year goals. Like it's straight up. Like that's happening.
gonna be
Dustin's
the whole
already
slate.
going to be there.
Yeah.
So we got to go support him. Like we can't let him be by himself.
I would like
you
to
know?
be rude.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
So I know he's got the TSM people, but they're busy too at times, and he needs to. We'll be there with
we have friends in Vancouver as well. Dahmer will be there. Hernan will be there.
because the Elks will be there.
There you go.
They're going to go
Lovely.
bring
It's going to be
title
a good
number
Grey
15.
Cup. They're doing a great job planning.
Well, Amar Domon too, like he has shown since he's come into the league, like he's not afraid to make waves and do things. And Hamilton set a new bar for a Grey Cup. Like especially when it's just Carrie Underwood, Shaggy, and Green Day.
Yeah,
like
their lineup
boom,
was awesome.
You now need that top concert. I guess you need that
Concerts.
CFL awards person, and then you need the halftime show that needs to now somehow try to top Green Day, which is going to be tough to do because
Yeah.
Green Day was fantastic.
They did a great job.
So, like, I'm excited to see what Doman and Vancouver could do. And Dwayne Vanneau is in Vancouver too, and he'd spent many years with Grey Cups, and he had the role at one point with the CFL where he was just in charge of the Grey Cups and stuff. So you got the experience of Dwayne Vanneau too when it comes to that Grey Cup. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you know, BC staff from top to bottom in terms of the people that are working in their marketing departments and their content and basically everything to do with putting on a show, they do a great job production-wise on a regular game day. So for them to be able to have that Grey Cup and have the festival and be involved in that, I'm really excited. But that's Montreal and Vancouver, the two places I haven't been for a Grey Cup. So I'm thrilled to go there next season, and it's inside, which is a bonus.
What?
I mean,
cold
It's
is
very
beautiful.
comfortable.
The
it's
cold
a nice
is
facility.
nice.
I like the cold too, but like a Vancouver cold is not the same.
Okay,
as
fair enough.
yeah.
Like the Heritage Classic at BC Place was weird because they had the roof open. It got cold inside the building. Then they closed it. It was bizarre,
It'd be a
Domer.
weird vibe.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
What
So,
year was that?
2014.
Was that the year Luongo was the captain of the team?
Yeah, and it was like they scratched him for the game, and they were about to trade him. They announced Corey Schneider. They booed Alain Vigneault.
Did they scratch him because they were going to trade him, or did they trade him because they scratched him?
It was something like that. Cass
Oh, you
took warm up for that game. Did not play, unfortunately.
Because I like what I remember was that he didn't play and he was upset, and basically it's that point trade me because he didn't get that game, and I didn't know.
Things
but
were
maybe
bad. Things
Yeah.
were bad, and I think Ottawa won that game too. I drank a lot of beer at that game, but it was just a weird vibe.
because it's not an outdoor game.
It was, but it wasn't because
is
they
it-
had the roof open and then they closed it.
So it's
They had
close.
fake snow. They had just like cotton balls, whatever that material is, to make it look like there's snow in BC Place. And
No, an outdoor game you have to deal with the
Yeah.
elements.
yeah, it was
It's like it's an outdoor game for a
Yeah.
reason, and it's hockey. So
It was weird. It was just weird. Sterile, I would say. And like, what's Ottawa, Vancouver? That's not a rivalry, right? Like,
but who is the rivalry for Vancouver?
it's Seattle now.
Is it?
Yeah.
You think?
I think that's a natural rivalry for them.
Yeah, I mean, back at that point, they could have played Edmonton or Calgary. And it
Correct.
would have been a way better matchup than
Yeah.
Ottawa. But
Absolutely. It was Ottawa. I think the league just wanted to get Ottawa.
Yeah,
into
because well,
one of
they've
those
never
games.
played. I don't think they would have played in one yet.
Yeah.
It's when would they play in one? Because
Well, they got one at the Centennial
Yeah, they-
Classic or whatever it was.
That's right.
2017, 2018.
There's too many of them. There's just too many.
There's a
outdoor
lot. Like
games.
the Heritage Classic was the 49th or something like that.
that many?
Yeah, it was.
They're going to close in on the amount of great cups we've had.
Yep.
they're chiseling away. I mean, when you play 5 a year or whatever,
that's the thing.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, they had Jack Hughes at MetLife Stadium yesterday shooting pucks through the goalposts in the end zone. Like, it's that time. They're already like the truck.
Is that for Winter Classic? Or is
no,
that for
that's
Stadium
for Stadium
Series?
Series. 'cause
When's the
they're doing-
Stadium Series?
They're doing 2 Stadium Series
Jeez, I'm
games,
so out
and
of
it's
loop
all
on
New
these
York
things.
area teams, and then Philly's included. I think Philly plays New Jersey. It's all at MetLife Stadium. And the NHL guys, when they were here the day of the Heritage Classic, we had some beers after the game. They're like, yeah, the ice truck that's here in Edmonton is on its way to New York, and then the ice truck that was in, because they have 2, that was in Australia, because they had to ship the truck and all the Zamboni, those little mini Zambonis that they use. They had to ship all of that to Australia. They're like, yeah, it's on a ship somewhere in the ocean right now. Hopefully it gets to Seattle in time to set up for the Winter Classic. I was like, whoa. And they're like, yeah, it's a process because it's all in-house NHL production, and they have those 2 ice trucks. One was in Australia, one was here. The one here went to New York. The one that was in Australia is in Seattle getting ready for the Winter Classic. It's crazy.
The Rangers Islanders.
It's a bit much, Dom.
You
You're
think
right.
they're going to sell those games out?
MetLife Stadium is what, like 85,000? I don't know.
Like how many people? I mean, it's the Heritage Classic here was a great event. It was the first outdoor game I'd been to. It was awesome. Now, we also got to watch the game from the Elks offices, which was
Awesome.
outstanding.
Yeah.
No lines for anything, which
Yeah.
is probably the best way to watch a hockey game or any sporting event for that matter. But the production value on the thing was off the charts.
Yeah.
And we had an opportunity to talk to Gord Riddell from Gord Riddell Productions, who does our games and also worked the Heritage Classic. And he was talking about just the meetings and the prep and everything that went into that for months and months and months before for, a 3-hour window, basically.
Yeah.
When you have those resources and you can dream things up and execute them, it's it'd be fun. It'd be like having an endless toolbox to play with, basically.
You need a lot of money for that.
You do.
A lot of money for that. That's for sure.
It was not a cheap day.
No. But so okay, you're lucky, you have your offices there, you're working with the NHL. They did shut down some areas of the stadium that made it different from an Elks game. Even if it was like a big Elks game where you would get, say, like a 40 to 50,000 crowd, like say the team was riding high, it's the Labor Day rematch, Calgary's playing well, and people are excited. They switched up some stuff. They had some like congestion points, pinch points in like the corners where they had merch trucks and stuff like that. And there was some like the Jackie Parker room, I think, was a private event. Yeah. So people were complaining about that. And we talked about like the stress on Commonwealth, but we have to keep in mind that they did close off sections of that building where people could gather and make more space for each other.
Yeah, the merch thing to me, because I tried doing a loop and I couldn't finish the loop.
Yeah.
I had to actually walk all the way back around because of congestion.
On the south end.
Yeah. The issue, it was the merch. Having the merch where they did was in the worst areas at the time when you're trying to move everyone around. And that was their biggest issue in my mind for all of that. And that was something that they needed to just move somewhere else. And then things would have flowed a little nicer. Mm-hmm. But they did it right where like everything gets small before it gets big again. And that's where they put the merch and everyone to have these big lineups. And you don't know if you're standing in line or if you're for the merch or to get by. And you had to stay on the wall. I learned that.
Stay on the wall.
Stick to
the walkway on the south side of the building, above the offices and all of that, it's not that wide.
No,
like on the north side where CW's is and the watch party things, that area, like at least there's like a huge. Like you've got a lot of space to work with. It does get congested.
The thing people forget, though, you guys, is that building wasn't built for 56,000 people initially. The footprint, right?
Yeah.
When you look at
because it was the grass
of it, you have the berm in the north end zone and the upper decks too.
They added, didn't they?
Yes, on the corners.
Did they?
From where the light standards end, you can see sort of in the seats. There's almost a line down the seats.
Yeah.
Those were added in the 80s when the team was cooking and for the Universiade, right? So. It's a facility now. They added the pods for the 2001 World Track and Field Championships, but the facility is bursting at the seams when you probably have 45,000 people in the facility. So when you get 55, it's like doesn't matter where you put the merch necessarily. It didn't help, but it's a difficult building to have a great experiences as a fan when there's 55,000 people there. If you want to flow around and get drinks and go to the washroom, which most people do,
and visit, good point. That's a good point.
Well, it was. I tweeted it that day. It was like the Heritage Classic was the reason why I feel like we need to keep Commonwealth Stadium, but it was also the reason why we need to fix Commonwealth Stadium.
Give it some
right.
love,
like we want big events still to come to Edmonton. We have the facility for it. But when Canada Soccer came here at the World Cup qualifiers, things, you saw that there's that stress that gets put on washroom lineups, all that because it wasn't built like it was now. And it's even smaller a little now than it was before. But
it's served the city incredibly well over its lifespan. There's no debating that, and it's great for attracting big events because there are two buildings in the country that can host anything of scale: BC Place and Commonwealth Stadium, and that's a great asset to have.
Rogers in Toronto.
That's a baseball-only facility now. They won't do anything
that's right.
there.
They won't do concerts?
They won't do anything there.
Really? I didn't know they won't do concerts.
No, they've committed entirely to the Blue Jays.
And capacity is dropping. They're doing seat renovations, and it's going to go down.
And the big O.
So where's Taylor Swift playing?
She is playing at what is it, Scotiabank?
I thought she was going to BC Place.
Well, she's
She was going to Toronto too.
She's doing like 4 or 5 shows at Scotiabank.
Oh, okay. Mini residency.
Yeah. So like. Commonwealth Stadium needs some love, and
no, she's Rogers Center.
Is she at Rogers?
Yes.
She is doing it. Okay.
Because Taylor Swift just seems too small or too big for Rogers.
That's interesting.
November 14th through the 24th, Rogers Center, 2024.
There you go. So I stand corrected. But it's.
But I don't think they'll
the
do a
biggest
lot more.
facility. You can't play soccer in that facility.
No.
You can't do anything.
Well, they're
other
not
than-
bringing the World Cup there.
Right. Exactly.
Right, like they're doing it at
Renoing,
BMO.
yeah,
They're not
renoing
going to the
BMO.
bigger facility. They're going to BMO, renovating, expanding to 40.
Exactly.
That's where World Cup will be played.
Exactly. So there's two facilities that in the country that can really are multi-purpose and have the flexibility, and that's in BC and here. So it needs some love. It needs some love.
It definitely does. But you're right. It is a good facility. It's interesting because my uncle and my grandpa worked on construction for Commonwealth. And I was like, hey, I don't think that the top deck was always that big like it is now. And Michael's like, oh, yeah, it was always like that. And I looked at pictures. I'm like, counting all the sections. I'm like, no, they definitely added. So,
Well, that's why the lettering is so weird, right?
for the sections?
It was
the double
A-
letters?
A to Z, and then they're like, oh, well, now we have some more sections. We'll make that double A, right? Like,
okay.
that's those sections are.
That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense now. Jeez.
Yeah.
Look at that. Learning something new every day.
It's a neat facility. That's for damn sure.
Tom Gazzola, Iwanyk, Evan Daum with you here on the EST Hangout presented by Mott's Clamato Caesar, the top Caesar brand in the country with over 400 million cans crushed by Canadians every single year. I'll be getting into one of those a little bit later today.
Neil at the 6 o'clock launch party at
Box
Alley
Pounder?
Cat yesterday. Is that Box Pounder? Or you
think
just
so.
said Neil.
Oh, okay.
Well, Neil's like, I never had Clamato before, and I bought some when you guys were sponsored by it. He's like, it's good. And I'm like, I'm glad you like it.
There you go.
Yeah. And Neil's not a young man. He's I think, in his 40s, but it was funny. He's like, I liked it. I'm like, the power of EST.
Give me the pickled bean or extra spice.
He
any
liked
day
the
too.
pickled bean.
Yeah,
He
it's a good
pointed
one.
that out. Rusty via the Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. Question for Dom. Are the Elks doing more of a locker room sale than what is online currently this year? I am looking to get a CFL game or practice used football and wondering what is the best way to get that.
We don't have footballs on the locker room sale this year, and part of that is because the CFL put chips in the balls.
Oh.
So the balls are super expensive, and we'll get another cycle out of those chipped balls, so we don't have a lot of balls this year.
Gotcha. Hey,
That's
I didn't
Genius
know
Sports
that.
thing.
Yeah.
Trying to track and get new data and all
Yeah,
of
they
that.
brought that in midway through the season or like a third of the way through the year. They got those chipped balls, so they use that for, augmented stats and those type of things. It's
That's what-
Cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I think like the NHL hasn't fully gone to the technology in the puck yet.
Well,
It's just an added cost to the puck, and you don't want to lose those pucks.
they've been using those pucks for like 2 or 3 years already.
With the chips for goal line technology?
The goal line technology they've tinkered with. It hasn't worked. They've tried cameras in the post. They've tried things, but
They tried putting, or they announced they were going to put a second line after the goal line. That if the puck's touching it, it would be clearly because it's past the first goal line,
Yeah.
and they never actually implemented it.
yeah. So I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, every arena in the NHL, the league went in and put in the technology. They've been using the chipped puck for a couple of years now. The pucks are way more expensive like the CFL balls are now. And when they lose it into the crowd, you can just keep it, but they're willing to eat that cost. And you know how we're seeing like the player tracking? The players, if you notice, have the little bump on the back of their right shoulder. That's the player tracking technology. All of that's integrated into what the league installed in the buildings a couple of years ago, and that includes the puck as well. It's just how much they put out on the broadcast is up to the broadcaster, and then the league, I think, also has control. Like, no, keep that in-house. This still needs to be ironed out, and we're a few years into it. Clearly, there's a bunch of data that isn't being used or is being collected, and they just keep in-house. But it's been in place for a few years now.
But you just need that goal line technology.
The goal line technology
That's
would
what
be
it's
great.
Give Manny
It
the line.
honestly would be
but
great.
like, there was
fair.
there was the game a couple of games ago for the Oilers where people were discussing did that go in, did it not? Some people are
Yeah.
sitting there like, well, reasonably it did, but you can't conclusively say right now that it did. So I guess that's no goal. And like we saw it at the Grey Cup, the goal line sneak.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I think he's in. I think he got the ball touching, but there's no evidence here to say, yeah, That one got in.
Right.
And at some point you will get there because
Yep.
you'll have that for precise marking when you have plays that are, if it's a third down sneak and same thing at the goal line, they'll have that ability to do that and spot it more accurately. It's amazing that we're in 2023 and they don't have the ability to conclusively say even at the NHL level, no, the puck went in.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, no, we know.
Like a light just goes on because
Yeah.
the puck crossed. And
Yeah.
boop, done. We're in.
Like we know the dimensions of a puck. You have the RFID chips in the puck. Do you think they'd be able to determine if a puck's on an angle, if all of it crossed a certain threshold and plane with another sensor of some sort? I would assume we've gotten past that point
Well,
in technology.
I'm going to go as full. The NFL is $1 billion industry.
right?
And we don't know whether a ball, if it's the same type of thing with the CFL. If they do a little goal line sneak, but they go in the wrong spot and there's no cameras and the ref doesn't know, there's no conclusive way. But like, did part of that ball touch the goal?
Right.
The NFL doesn't even have that yet.
That's a good
If
point.
Matt Iwanyk can have his greeting cards written by a computer, at some point we're going to be able to know if a football is in the end
I'm gonna
zone.
write you a greeting card at some point.
That's your
and I'm
your
just gonna use
Christmas
the
card,
AI.
Yeah.
It's I hate writing that stuff out. And
Why?
It just makes things
anybody
easier.
who gets anything from Matt that's written, you just crumple it up and
Chat,
throw it away,
chat.
and it's a
Well,
computer.
that's what you do with it anyways.
It's heartless.
Not if it's a nice message. I'll put that up. If I leave here today and a week from now a nice card shows up at the Elks offices and says thanks for coming and being part of EST, blah blah blah. And if it's from Tom, I'll put it up because I know it's genuine. It's from a human. If it's from you, I'm just going to say this is just computer gibberish. I don't want this garbage.
Yeah, but people say like I'm not human anyways. So like even if I didn't use it, it wouldn't have still been just very, cold and
It's true. It's on brand. You're right.
Evan. Period. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for
period.
actually showing up. Appreciate
Matt.
you.
Period. It'd be like in the office where it is your birthday.
Yes, exactly.
That's all.
It is your
Computer nailed that one. Great job.
Now we should get Tom to do handwritten thank you notes for the Hangout.
I'm fine with that. If that's the task that you guys want me to perform, I can do
I'll
it.
go buy a whole bunch of thank you cards and
Thank you, Evan, for coming in. It was a lot of fun listening to you chirp Matthew.
And then I'll just
Sincerely,
write you
Tom.
back. We'll have like a pen pal thing where we could just text, but then we'll just start mailing things back and forth.
Yes.
Just
Do you
short
know who
messages,
was a
though.
pen pal email wise with Dave Jameson? Ken Dryden, of all people.
Why?
We had him on the show
Cool,
once.
but
I know.
weird.
We had him on the show once, and he just loved the chat he had with Dave. So we got Dave's email, and every so often Dave would get emails from Ken Dryden, and they'd exchange emails, and then
He's a
Ken would be
brilliant guy,
Have you
isn't he?
seen? Yeah, and he's like, "Have you seen this email?" And Dave like, "Oh, okay," or like this article, and Dave would just look at him like, "Oh," and then they'd have a chat. And it'd just be like, there'd be time that go in between periods, and then Ken would just email Dave and go, "Hey, have you seen this article?"
Hello, Ken.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
JMO
former Parliament member.
Yes, former member of Parliament. Yeah,
How are you?
the Right Honorable. Did he?
Right Honorable Ken Dryden.
Yeah, is that how his?
actually
Dear
don't know.
Right Honorable Ken Dryden, thank you for your latest correspondence. And then whatever.
Those two would be very formal with each other.
Yeah.
They would be. A lot of buttoned up shirts. In a good way.
Yeah. Like that was the greatest pen pal thing I've ever
That
seen.
is
in my life.
amazing.
Yeah, of all people, Dave Jameson and Ken. And it wasn't like Dave was bothering Ken.
Yeah.
It was the other way, not bothering Dave, but Ken initiating with
Jamo's
Dave.
a likable guy.
Yeah.
So
I could see
we're gonna
Dave,
get him to write that book.
He'd
one
be a
day.
good pen pal.
Yeah. Yeah, he would be. I could see Dave replying, Ken, dearest regards. I recall back in the summer of 1977, as you were entering your 6th complete NHL season, there was a lot of talk about you in the latest edition of Sports Illustrated. And you came in through Vancouver and played against the Canucks at Pacific Coliseum on October 26th. And you posted a shutout. And I thought that was one of the most brilliant displays of goaltending I had witnessed in my young life. Love, Dave.
Well, you're not getting a love, Dave.
Sincerely.
Sincerely, Dave.
Yeah, something like that.
With warmest regard.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
with the
And-
warmest of regards.
And then Ken
Dave
would
Jameson.
reply, David. I'm glad you brought that
This
game
is a
up.
good bit. This would be like a
Yeah.
good segment. You could do this every once in a while.
I do recall that article. It
I'll
made,
ChatGPT it.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
made me
exactly.
nervous.
You and SI.
So anyway, I could see it being like that. Very cordial, very warm towards one another.
You
And
were-
no spelling mistakes.
You were a former journalist. What did you make of that story from SI this week?
Oh, it's
And for those that
embarrassing.
didn't see it,
It's embarrassing.
SI was caught using AI to write stories and had generated images of the writers, and they got caught with this. What a fall from grace Sports Illustrated has
a
become.
massive fall from grace. It was growing up, and I'm sure it was the same for you guys. Like SI was like highly relevant.
Totally.
Like you would pick it up at the grocery store or whatever. You'd read the articles.
I
They're
had
all
the full
written.
subscription for a number of years.
Yeah, and their writers were outstanding, and they were journalists. They'd hunt down stories, and they'd tell you interesting things about athletes that are widely known, but they would find little nuggets about them from their past and make paint the picture in a way that really brought sports to life. And then obviously the photos were the photos. They were outstanding. It's Sports Illustrated after all. And now it's gone through a couple ownership changes, and they don't have any like really high profile quality writers who are dedicated to their product. And they're resorting to using AI to write things. Like it's embarrassing, and it's frankly it's kind of sad.
Because that's the way things are going. We're just going to see more and more of that. More and more companies are going to try to sneak in AR articles.
For
sure they are.
For Sports
Until they can get away.
Illustrated to do that, like that is sad. Is
The
Dahmer,
ethics
you're
of it
being
is-
nice, but
yeah.
it's pathetic.
Yeah, it is. It's bad.
It's pathetic. Like I love
No one wants to pay for journalism anymore.
No, because there's been, and COVID was a huge part of it. There's been this turn on journalists as being wrong and narrative, and this. And you know what? Sadly, to a certain extent, there's some of that, obviously, but not everybody is like that. I think sports were kind of lucky. We're off to the side a little bit, but like SI, great long form features. You're right, Dahmer. Like they had excellent photographers. The images that you could look at, swimsuit edition, fantastic. Like it was, but that was a highlight, right? And then, like for me, in recent years, I really took to Extra Mustard. I like those like weird little stories and quirky things that were happening around the sporting world that might fly under the radar or were just like little blips and things like that.
That
like,
minor baseball team in Kentucky that was doing something really weird.
Yeah.
They tell you that story. I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah, like I don't like the Savannah Bananas, by the way. I think it's annoying. That shtick is stupid, but it's
I honestly
popular.
don't get it.
It's popular, yeah.
It's like the Harlem Globetrotters
yeah,
of baseball.
basically, yeah.
But
Like the one cool rule they have is like if the opposing team fouls the ball and a fan catches it, it counts as an out. Like that's kind of funny. But there's other stuff like the dancing
Look
before
at the
pitch.
commissioner over here. He's like, that is not the sport.
no,
It's-
I'm just trying to think of how that would go in baseball. Like you say, it's no holds bar.
Yeah.
You catch that ball, it's
Game over.
Oh boy.
Dahmer's right. It's like the Globetrotters, but of
So
minor
anytime
league
a ball
baseball.
goes out, if a fan catches
No,
it,
no. Last out of the game, if it's a foul ball and it's a pop
Okay.
up and it goes into the seats
So it has
and
to
the
be
fan
last out.
catches it.
That's fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fun.
that's
But
fun.
That's
but
clever,
I'm like,
but
because if it's like any time it goes out there, like,
not anytime.
geez,
No,
that game's going quick.
Yeah.
You want to speed baseball
It's a
up right now,
45
Fritz.
minute 9-inning game.
Yeah, but you'd find out about stuff like that. So I liked Extra Mustard because like all these little stories that would kind of slip through the cracks were collected and they were posted, and you'd be like, oh, that's hilarious. Oh, did you know this? And so I liked. That's how my evolution of appreciating Sports Illustrated, the progression of it was. But yeah, like the long form stuff was great. The imagery was great, but to hear it resorted to AI is pathetic. Pathetic.
And you hear more about it actually with certain companies that they're starting to do it a little bit more, and it's just
These are
That's what we're gonna be.
robots. These are computers. Like there's no human element to this. Crap.
that's why I write it into greeting cards using it.
Well, you're half robot, so
Part of the problem.
yeah.
I don't write a lot of
We're
greeting
gonna
cards.
plug
It
you
doesn't
in
matter.
and recharge you after this show.
I rewrite
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
I rewrite it a little bit. I reword them. I don't leave it as is.
In fact, you're admitting this is wild.
I've done it already, and so did Will. We
on
we
public
admitted it
record
last
now.
time. Exactly. This is the second
If you
time I've
receive
admitted
any
it.
written items from Matthew Iwanyk, kindly disregard.
Only greeting cards, not any written item.
Yeah, the text that asked me to come on the show,
That was
from
me.
you or was
That's
that from
me.
a computer?
I don't need
You
to
just said,
ChatGPT that.
Yeah, well, that's true. It was
That's
not
just a question.
sophisticated enough.
I send my emails to the Nasty Club members, and that's all me.
Now they question
That's
that,
all
though.
me.
Well,
It is.
Planted the
You've
seed.
done it yourself.
I don't care.
Although he has been very meticulous with the Nasty Club, like like he was laminating. He's like, look at this laminator I got. He's like,
Laminators are actually pretty fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
There
They
seems
need to be done right. I don't want to give Nasty Club members botched work, What, should I not put pride and care into our Nasty Club members' packages,
you
Tommy?
should.
Put pride and care into the laminating things, but not to cards for loved
No,
ones.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Loved ones, laminating.
That's only a recent thing, though. Old cards, I had to do it because there was no chat GPT.
Oh, okay.
Nowadays, I have to. Now I could get away with it. I want to make sure that they're as like I'm trying to do my best, Tommy, for our Nasty Club members. I'm sorry
I've
that you don't
noticed.
care about our Nasty Club
I care
members. in
very
that
much
same-
about our Nasty Club members.
You
I
want
just-
me to half-ass it, apparently.
No, I'm not saying that. You're putting words into my mouth. So last week he gets this laminator and he's like, "Look how you do this." There is something oddly satisfying about.
Yes.
I watched him for like 2 minutes, and then like, he's like, you see it, and it's like, oh, look at that. That looks
Now there's
great.
plastic on it.
Yeah,
It's cool.
It's very, very neat. And then all I could hear, I was in the other day, and I'm hearing, and I'm like,
cutter,
is he
yeah.
cutting
Yeah.
stuff? And he's like, I bought a cutter. He knew I was. I looked, and he's like, I bought a cutter, and I was like, yeah, I could tell. And then when I looked at the Nasty Club cards after he took care of everything, they look very good. So Matthew is putting this stuff together with.
So then why are
love.
you mocking me?
I'm not. I'm
I feel like
telling-
there's a fool trying to mock me here.
I'm trying to make
I
our
can't
Nasty
get on you
Club
for that
members,
one.
yeah, who appreciate the fact that you are putting that. It's like going to a deli or a sandwich, and you get that
Spinelli's.
sandwich, and you get that person making it at the counter, and you could tell they're making it with love, and it makes it that much more better. That's what you're doing for our Nasty Club members. So what I'm
So I made
doing
him
right
turn
now
it around. So
is
I made him turn that around.
complimenting
If I
you.
don't say that, he doesn't go this way.
Anyway, he wouldn't let us touch the merch boxes that showed up.
because I need
He's
to
like,
get
"Don't
those.
touch it.
I need to
Leave it alone."
get. I need to first get them to the people that bought this stuff.
There has to be at least one adult in this facility.
Exactly.
It's Eric.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's no chance you'd have him as the adult.
Trev.
It's just straight up. Actually, for all our Nasty Club members, the last bit of merch came in yesterday. The mugs. So now I'll organize all that stuff.
The mugs are awesome, too.
I think as of Friday, people will be able to pick up. But
They're
I will be
huge.
sending out an email today. So
They're huge. Like they're
15
big.
ounces.
Yeah, they're really good. They're campfire mugs.
Campfire style mugs.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at one after.
Don't touch. Don't. You can look. Just don't touch it.
Is it behind like a display case?
No, they're
It's
just
like-
in the boxes outside. Like you could go right now.
Well,
go take
I'll wait.
a look if you want.
Oh, wait. I mean, somebody has to carry this show since Gager's not here.
That's why we bring people
touche.
on. You know,
Touche.
Well, no,
Tom
you
and
guys
I
are great.
don't need to
This
carry
would be
them.
a lot
We
though
just-
for you to do this. Just the two of you, all like every single day. Like
It's
that's not
kind
a
of
hangout
fun.
then.
We air
But if it was
grievances.
just
Oh, if it's just the two of us?
Yeah, it was just the two
Oh,
of
I
you.
think we'd be able to do it.
Yeah.
You think so?
Oh,
Yeah.
I think so. I think Tom and I could have some nice conversations and get through 2 hours.
Yeah,
every day.
probably.
I think
I'm not doubting your
we're
abilities,
friends
but
enough. I
then
think
you'd
that
have
we
to change
could
the name
talk-
of the show.
I think we could talk for 2 hours every day with
Yeah.
each other and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe we'd have to have a couple of extra like breaks.
Yeah. Or
Just
we'd bring up
but-
weird stuff like housekeeping stuff in our building. Like, what's up with that one elevator yesterday? I took it a
seats
couple
down.
of times and it was not safe.
No,
So they had the
what
cone.
happened?
I don't know. It was
why
like
would they-
rattling on the way up.
Oh, see, that one had an issue a few
this building?
months ago.
In
No,
in
It's
our
like
building that we live
You're
in.
on the second floor.
this building doesn't even have fire sprinklers. So
It's true, actually.
Yeah.
yeah,
Lights are a fire hazard. Another LEDs. You're
Another
good.
LED. It's safe.
yeah.
This is
so there's-
professional operation.
Oh, we had someone
Thank you.
who knows what they're doing put those up. It wasn't even us
Thank you,
putting those
Bruce.
up.
I was about to say it looks legit.
Yeah, no, we
Do you
didn't
like
touch
your
those.
sound?
soundproofing? I did that with Eric.
Yeah, it's not bad.
There's some gaps.
It's not as professionally done as the lights.
The lights are professional.
But yeah, no, the elevator. It's I was down, had to pick up a package downstairs today, and I saw the cone in front of it.
Yeah.
So
It was wonky. Like I took it a couple of times yesterday and the day before. I'm like, ooh, this doesn't feel right.
what'd you do to it?
Nothing.
Okay, just making sure.
Nothing. There's probably a party in the penthouse.
Isn't that where you live?
I wish.
the
No,
penthouse
he's
is
on the
above?
25th floor. I'm on the 9th. I'm scared of heights. I admit it.
25th floor. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's high.
It is high.
I could tell who's afraid of heights and who's not by them. Just like, hey, you want to come out to the balcony? And
Nope.
Yeah,
you
I
know
don't
who
like
does,
that
who doesn't.
either.
No,
Not for me.
No.
you would have loved when
That's
Dusty.
why. That's why we closed the upper bowl. I couldn't go up there. It was too scary for me.
It's on the
He was
record.
all because of Dahmer now.
Dahmer.
Dusty was last
Yes.
summer, not this summer, the one prior.
The
He was up
unsanctioned.
there having had a few drinks, and Tommy was worried about him.
I was very concerned because like he's a big guy. He's like leaning back. We're 25 floors up. He's wasted. He had put in like 3 hours in the hot tub, and I'm like, oh no,
he was
and I'm
dehydrated too.
He
yeah.
had to go to the doctors a couple days later because
Yeah.
he was dehydrated, and he did like
Oh,
'cause
legitimately he
He
was.
didn't
Yeah.
think. So this was his day. It was a 30-some degree day.
Yes.
We're on the patio, which had just sun beaming on it the whole time.
Yes.
He
He's
started
the same
drink-
color as that can of Mott's Clamato Caesar,
was.
extra spicy.
He started started drinking twisted teas.
Twisted teas.
Then he started drinking spiced rums and cokes, but it was like that much rum.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like a
I've
little
seen
bit of
that before.
cocaine.
Yeah.
And then, but also he started doing that while standing in a hot tub for like 3 hours.
Yukon Jack was in this phase where he was making boilies. He would wrap a mini pizza
Well, we had mini
around
pizzas.
a hot dog.
They were amazing.
They were actually really good. Completely unhealthy though.
And we didn't plan on that. Like he brought boilies, and then I bought these pizzas, and then we looked at them like this would be
That's a
great
good mashup,
together.
yeah.
Oh, it
It
was
was,
fantastic.
yeah.
Then we went upstairs, and he kept drinking his massive.
Yeah.
So like that was the Saturday. He had to go to the doctor like the Monday or Tuesday because he wasn't feeling right. Not thinking like
wonder
maybe
why.
just need to drink some water, like a lot of water, and drink some Pedialyte to get those electrolytes back up and all of that stuff. No, he had to, and the doctor was like, "You're dehydrated,"
Yeah, as a grown man, you should have better liquor management than that.
or
Or
afterwards
that's
how to
still-
recover from it. Like
that too. Yeah, that too.
yeah,
I
you're
was
gonna
so
feel
scared,
like
though.
you're gonna be hurting the next day.
Yeah,
but
no, that's not a good
On the
position to be
balcony.
in.
Yeah, he's like leaning back. He's like drinks all over, and I'm like, okay, if
Just go
if he
inside.
loses his balance, I'm hanging on to the door handle. I'm reaching out and I'm grabbing Dustin, and I'm using all the strength in the world to pull
I think
him
they would have
back.
been fine because I think
You think he would have survived the fall?
No, there wouldn't have been a fall because I think they would have like if he was
I don't
holding
even
onto
like
the
thinking
door.
about this.
I think he would have. They would have been fine long enough for the rest of us to
This is
come in
terrible.
and
This-
grab
we
the
need to
rest.
pivot
I'm
off
just saying
this.
that.
I'm starting to get nervous. Like I'm starting to.
A little nausea.
You
Yeah.
just always got to think about various scenarios.
I was very worried
you
about him
gotta
at
you
that
gotta be
point.
prepared. Like we should actually plan our fire escape route and where
In our building
our mustard point
or
is.
here.
Here.
Kick
It's
that
true.
window, hop on the roof.
You
and
should
go.
have a fire drill.
We should do a fire drill. I'm gonna come in one day during the morning show, and just like have a big fire alarm that goes on my phone. Like fire drill, boys, let's go.
And you'll
Stop
be
the
the only
morning
guy
show,
going out
and we'll
always.
all go
Great
out.
job, Matthew.
You should have a backup studio outside in a safe spot.
Touche.
I'll just set
In
it
a
up in my
C-can.
car.
Yeah.
I'll just like quickly like set my phone up in my car and like you guys get to my car.
All right, the
now.
building's on fire, and we'll continue along here.
We had an issue with the internet a couple weeks ago during Grey Cup actually, where it went down, and we were like, "Oh, that's not good. What are we gonna do?"
That's tough for
An internet-based company.
Yeah,
it's not.
it's challenging.
That and electricity are the two most important things.
That's true.
So we could live without lights, like for the most part. But
yeah, because you could just go audio.
yeah, and then you could see it just in darkness. We could open up the windows.
Yeah, and you really
some
should
light.
have generators
So-
here and gasoline in case you need them. So you should have redundancies built in. You
So-
should basically have the
I like this.
same capabilities as a hospital, where you can keep broadcasting through a massive.
Well, we had generators at
natural problem.
1260.
Yeah,
We always had to have those. You need those.
do you have them here?
No, so I guess we'll have to just buy them. So
That'd be a good
but
Christmas present.
I'm
Plus, he just gets a huge generator and a stocking.
actually he was
It's
gonna
the generator I've always wanted.
he was gonna buy. No one knows the program, but he's gonna buy this radio program that he used to have. That was a little expensive for Christmas for himself because he really likes this program that isn't actually that good.
So weird.
No one else liked it, but Dusty does, and he was thinking about getting that for Christmas. I like to save money, just like you don't like my mouse.
Look at this mouse,
This
people.
is-
You can't see it. I would say look at. I'm saying look at it, but you can't even see it. It's a mouse for ants. And I said, well, why did you get the world's smallest mouse? Like, there's enough room here to navigate a normal sized adult mouse.
Because it was the cheapest one.
And there you go.
It was
Dollar store
I
Matty
went to
here.
the one place. It was cheap, so boom, and it does the job of what I need to here. And somebody's got to save money around here.
It's true.
So
I could see that with you guys.
Yeah.
We've established your role here, which is to be the adult, and adults think about money. Most.
well, they
Oh,
do.
Delver, I
They
love
think
you.
of it both ways though. About just spending it,
Getting
and
it.
some
You just think about getting it and not spending it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I love not spending money. It's great.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, Raider Jesse via the Paris Jewelers inbox.
I saw your DM, Jesse, too. I'll get back to you after the show.
218-9999. Record the fire drill. Post it as bonus Nasty Club
Oh,
content.
I like it.
See, there's a
YouTube
programmer
Trev, get
right
on
there.
it.
That's a good one. It would be funny.
It would be. Well, Matt would just do it by himself, and everyone would not move, and then we'd have.
That's
YouTube
cool.
trips.
So when the fire comes, I'll be prepared, and you guys won't be.
That's right. That's right.
Now that I know where your studio is, maybe one day I'll just storm in and scream fire and with a fire extinguisher and just start blowing it all over the place. And then you guys would probably sue me for damages. And
Just don't hit the modem.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's all we ask.
We could clean that up.
Yeah,
you
you do
probably
some
could,
damage.
but it wouldn't be nice.
Yeah.
I won't do that. Maybe I'll just come in and scream fire and then leave.
We got YouTube Trev here.
yeah,
could clean that
that's
up.
true. Yeah, that's a good job for him. I haven't even met him officially, but I think that's
But you'll
perfect
just
for
throw it on him.
Yeah.
He's a very nice young man.
I've heard good things.
Yeah. He was a hit at the party last night.
He's got a glorious stash,
It is greasy.
which he said he was going to keep it a little bit into December, but also if the Oilers win tomorrow, he can't shave it off until they lose.
he is
like
very
it's going to be one of
superstitious.
those where, and they don't play till next Wednesday, so he's got to have it for a little longer, and you just got to keep that going because you superstitious?
Not really, no.
No. Any of the players, do you notice superstitious at all? Because you hear the stories in hockey of certain players, like Sidney Crosby's well known for being superstitious. You know of any players that have had like?
I can't think
be.
of one off
No?
the top of my head that's like super crazy, but they're very particular.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes they go from being particular and like, focused on certain things to superstitious. I think when it goes over, when someone reasonable, like maybe like yourself, were the arbiter of whether it was superstitious or just particular, you could come in and you could say, no, you're just being weird. That's just a superstition. Like that has no impact on anything.
But that's the
Like
weird.
putting a sock on the right sock.
But
first
here's
or
the
left
thing.
sock, sort of stupid stuff.
It sounds stupid, and you know that there's no impact. But when I don't do it, it doesn't work. The result's not great. Like it is dumb. They are stupid. They shouldn't have any impact.
Yeah.
But why does it sometimes feel like it does have an impact?
Because that person is unhinged.
I'm unhinged. Sidney Crosby's unhinged. Then in your eyes,
Absolutely is. That guy,
I'll just throw
I
that
love
out there right
Crosby,
now.
by the way. He's the best.
But unhinged.
It's okay to be unhinged, but
Yeah.
appreciated for being great.
100%.
Yeah, that's how we feel about some people who work in this building.
Not all of them.
No, not all. We'll
some.
leave them unnamed.
I've talked about my superstitions before and how I've gotten into it when it's come to like the Ravens and stuff, and it's not fun. It sucks.
Are you
but
going
it just-
around your condo like turning the lock 3 times?
No, it's not like
and
that.
then
It's just
turning
like
the
it's
light
like
3 times.
I have to wear a certain shirt or something, or like I do. Like if I'm sitting in a spot and things aren't going well, I'm not afraid to I'll be a guy that sometimes will move. Italy during the Euros, like when I was sitting, things weren't good. I had to stand.
Interesting.
So always just like once I started standing, things always went well. They won the Euros.
They did. They
was
really
you.
did.
So
It was you.
well, but it
From long
wasn't. But
distance.
it's
Putting it into the universe,
it's
manifesting.
in the universe. I manifested.
There
it.
you go.
Isn't that like
You're
from
the only
Secret or
one.
something? No, there was other Russ. There's other Italians joining me in that, and we got it done. And we're back in the Euros next year, and it's going to be a glorious time.
We are back in the Euros next year.
Were you guys in the World Cup recently?
We were not.
That's what I thought.
I'm hopping on this team
We missed
right now.
2, the last 2 World
Oh,
Cups.
it's back to back, really?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was
feel
just
shame.
how pathetic that
Should
was.
feel shame.
That's like Canada missing the World Hockey Championships or something. I don't know how, like not qualifying for the Olympics or something. It's utterly embarrassing. And yeah, when they missed in 18, that's probably the darkest day of my sports life ever. Like legit. Like if you want to go to the worst days as a sports fan,
Yeah.
for me that one was
But
it.
didn't like the next day you had one of the best days ever because like Ukraine qualified or something like that?
No one qualified for the 18 World Cup.
Oh, okay.
No, it was miserable. Ventura's a trash manager, and he should have been fired after Labor Day.
That's
Everyone
5
knew they
years
were.
ago, and you're
everyone
still
knew.
that mad.
Oh, that one I'm very like. I could go off for like an hour ripping Ventura and all the trash
Please
he
don't.
did. I don't want to.
Well, that's about how much time
So-
I have left on the show, isn't
Yeah.
it? There
Yeah.
you go. We just filled
You
it.
guys could go.
We just
no that.
Everybody can just tune out.
Nailed it.
No, don't, please don't.
06 was a big one for people. They didn't like 06 was for some Oiler fans, especially a certain generation.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been hard. Yeah.
What's your guys' worst sports?
Well, I mean,
As a
it's
fan,
it's
As
a tradition
fan.
like any other on most Sundays where I turn on a Cardinals game and by halftime I'm like, why am I watching this shit? And then I finish watching the game. So that's like I go through like a mini dark spell every Sunday.
So that's like nothing.
Yeah, but I don't get that attached. Like, I want them to win, and when they don't, I take a deep breath and I walk away.
Yeah. ALCS, Blue Jays, Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
That stupid fan in the outfield.
Oh, with the beer can?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dumb.
I don't know, that for whatever reason, that just struck a nerve and I just went off. I was just so livid about that. I was like spitting fire in the hallway. I was like, that guy's and my wife's just like, what is wrong with you? Like, why do you care about that guy so much? I'm like, he ruined it. He ruined everything.
It was really stupid what he did.
I still want to find him. A little
They
bit
did
of
find
They
him.
found him.
Well, they know the name.
I want to find him.
There was one more I thought. Oh, Miami Hurricanes 03 Fiesta Bowl. It was not pass interference. I still stand on that
20
one.
years ago, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay.
It was not pass interference.
Okay.
They should have beat Ohio State. They should have been national
You're a
champs.
U fan.
You and Kooks. I do love
Like 70
No, it's two.
teams.
There's
good.
two
You
of
gotta
them.
hedge your bets in college football.
Yes.
There's too many in college football. Like it's good to cheer for a couple, and you went to my the place I want to go to.
Yeah, we were
which
there
is
a couple
Pullman,
weeks ago.
Washington.
It's awesome.
That looks like a great atmosphere.
It was so cool. So they played Colorado on the Friday night. So
That's Washington State Cougars.
yeah, and Deion Sanders was there with the Buffaloes. Washington State was kind enough to give us some access. So we were field level. We were right beside their bench, right underneath their student section.
Oh,
So it was unbelievable. Like the students are crazy, man. Like they stream in there, and drinking age is 21, but consumption age is lower, and people are having a good time, and they're all over the Buffaloes as they ran out. They're all over them all game, chants and different traditions. They shake their keys for kickoff. And they've got their, it's awesome, man. Like it was so much fun. And Washington State felt like they scored every single time they touched the ball. I think the final was 56-14.
It was a dominating
They
game.
absolutely crushed them. So they were into the game the whole time, and just incredible. Just you can just feel the tradition. And we walked through tailgate and stuff, and people were like super friendly, like, "Where are you guys from? What are you doing here?" They're giving us beers. It was enjoyable to see that, just how much that place means to people. You have grads. People are saying, I graduated in 1988. Oh, I'm a class of '94, and people are coming from all over the place. There's people who came from Seattle. One guy we met. One guy was from Spokane, which is not far away. So it's really like a pilgrimage for them.
well,
cool.
that connection you have to your school
Yeah.
is something that we don't have here in Canada.
Yeah.
You go to your school, that's great. Like Nate, like it's not like
I
I'm-
root for Nate.
Sure, but we're
Let's
not
go,
like
Oaks.
making plans to go to every single weekend to go watch every single Nate hockey game or whatever,
No,
right? Like
that's
it's the Bears. Like
good
there are
hockey,
the
though.
people that do love the Golden Bears and they get there, but it's not this massive culture of you bleed green and yellow for the Golden Bears because you went to the U of A and your family's going to the U of A and there's no other school you're going to consider.
Right.
It's only U of A. Here it's just like, yeah, you went to U of A, cool. Oh, yeah, they're going to play, awesome. And we had the Vanier Cup last week, and like I saw Bruce Arthur, who's a grad of UBC. He's like, hey, my school's in the Vanier Cup because there was a threat or something. He's like, I'm mildly interested. Like, it's not that connection.
Yeah.
College, it's who you are. It's your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Is connected to the school
It
you
is.
went to, and then it's connected to the football and the basketball program and the success that they have.
Yep. Big part of it, for sure. And you feel that. And Pullman's a college town. It's the first time I've been there. And Washington State is everything in that community because that community doesn't exist in that form without that school. So that's also something that's unique to the States. I mean, there's some of those schools in Atlantic Canada, like, X is at St. FX is in Antigonish, and there's some of that, but it's not the same here.
Very true.
Have you been to any other college games before? Or was that
I had been
first?
to Seattle to see Washington play USC. That's when Steve Sarkisian was head coach there, and Pete Carroll was at USC, and USC came in ranked inside the top 5, and actually Washington upset them that game. I can't remember what year it was. And we were sitting in the student section, my buddy and I went down, and people just started running on the field, and we're like, all right, let's go. So then we ran out on the field with them, and we're high-fiving players and stuff, and it was awesome.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was cool.
That is neat.
And then Steve Sarkisian replaced Pete Carroll at USC
Yes.
after Pete Carroll went to Seattle after being a Bama.
Yeah.
Because everyone works
It's
under
a
Nick Saban to
rehabilitation.
rehabilitate.
Yeah,
Just like
exactly.
Bill Belichick for a while used to try to rehabilitate some people.
football
But
again.
yeah, Sarkisian, yeah, he's doing. Yeah, Texas is actually a really good team this year.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun
And
to
they'll
watch.
get crushed next year in the SEC. So
Oh.
have a good run, boys.
That's gonna be something to watch. Well, and seeing what USC, UCLA, and even Washington, like now they're in the Big Ten. You got Michigan, Ohio State all the time now.
Yeah, college football, man, it's the realignment stuff it's absolutely insane. It's all TV money. And I actually don't think it's going to be good for the sport long term. But
It's making it professional sports.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the top teams.
There'll be
they're
4
getting all their money.
conferences
Eventually, they'll start cutting out even the bottom schools from their conferences, like an Iowa or something. Like Big Ten's gonna look at them like we're good.
Iowa's going to be in the Big Ten championship game, though, and they're going to get absolutely crushed
But-
by Michigan.
Well, that's the thing. Like that one half of the division
It's insane.
It's no one's. Like they're like, but they'll look at some of those teams. Like I'm sure there's a couple schools like Vanderbilt in the SEC. Eventually, some point they're going to come and look at them and go, oh, huh. Florida State's over here with ACC still. Goodbye. And they'll like I could see that eventually going.
There was a coach the other day that was talking about the transfer portal and saying how if you want to get a good quarterback, it's like $1 million to $2 million to bring one over.
Washington State's quarterback actually is being offered like $1 million to transfer schools. I'm gonna find
Cameron
the quick
Ward,
text.
right?
Cameron Ward. I think actually I don't know if he's got NFL prospects. I think he could be a good CFL quarterback, having watched him quite a bit now. But yeah, he's being approached by multiple schools, and he's received offers over. Okay, I'm gonna read this text or this tweet's a little weird. He's received over 10 $1 million. Oh, okay, 10 $1 million offers to transfer schools. So 10 different schools, basically, or boosters or all that, have offered him $1 million to transfer to their program.
Yeah, this NIL thing. You knew they would
crazy.
start circumventing the rules. Menopause Nick via the Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. Hey Nick, Super Bowl 47 and 54 for me sucked big time. Also 06 was a heartbreaker because that's the closest I've seen the Oilers get to a cup.
Norman at Combine had Smith putting the puck behind Fuhr in the playoffs. Worst moment ever. So
That was
people
a
have
tough
those.
one. Jocelyn, by the way, just picked up a 4-pack, actually 8 6 o'clocker lagers. She's like, I'm going to have one right now. Good morning, Jocelyn. I love it. I love it.
The things you guys have created.
Look
It's a
what we've
beautiful
done.
thing you've brought into the world.
I
then-
like how you worded that.
And then Jay
like we've had a kid or something.
Well, this is your child. EST is like your child.
Well, the EST
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So
we
is
wanted,
6 o'clock lager. It's like you guys.
I did all the making of it. I came up with the whole recipe and all of it for the beer.
You are a brewmaster.
Oh, yeah.
Jay-
100%. Just me.
Jay shows
No.
a picture. They picked up 24, and they said the guy behind them bought a 32.
It's gonna be sold out by tonight.
Hell yeah.
It's flying off the shelves.
I'm glad
Alley
people
People
are
are
Cat-
drinking all day.
Alley Cat did an amazing
They did a
job.
great
with
job.
It. And it is like
It's a very
I've
crushable
been
beer.
getting away from the beers a little bit. I'm just not enjoying drinking a lot of them. I could drink this legitimately,
Yeah.
like not just because it's our thing. Like,
It's a good
I could
beer.
drink this quite a bit.
We'd like to get it into Commonwealth Stadium. We know that there's some red tape there, but I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
I can't say
I wasn't going to put you on
Can't
the
say
spot.
anything.
I
I'm
wasn't
sorry,
like I'm not.
I did. I went there.
Enjoy
That's
it.
my bad.
Enjoy it at your home before you come to the game, and then have
Yes.
a beautiful ice cold other beer. Molson Canadian.
Molson
course.
product.
Yes.
When I worked for OEG/Rexall Sports and Entertainment, we called it Molson product.
You can take it to the tailgate.
Boom.
Actually, the tailgate's been great.
Yeah, it has been awesome.
For you guys like that.
Tailgate's been.
It's
yeah,
been
it's
awesome,
elevated.
and it's just getting better. It seems, and like everyone that goes is having a great time. And you're talking about the Pullman experience and all that now. Like it's not
Yeah.
there, obviously, but you got to grow it to something. But it's becoming an event to go to an Elks game. It's not just show up for kickoff, game over, go home. It's hey, tailgate's 2 hours beforehand. Let's hit that up. Let's go to the game, and now it's become a whole thing. Or let's go somewhere else afterwards. You know.
Yeah, like the beauty of the tailgate from my vantage point is that, and not to say that we don't do things that, elevate game day as a staff, but we do. But the beautiful thing about tailgate is that it's organic. It's
Yes.
the people that are there, building a community, having a great time, being great hosts, welcoming people in who don't have tailgate spots, who are just wandering through. It's all them. we've done a good job of partnering with some people to bring some entertainment there and that sort of thing as well with live music. That's us, but that's secondary from the community that's been built. And we're still working on plans for Tailgate for next year, but the goal is to keep growing it and providing more opportunities because there's a wait list. People want to be part of Tailgate, so let's do everything we can to try and make that happen. We just have to find the space. It's tough over there.
Yeah, well, it has to be organic. It's like if it's, a corporate thing or like you do it, you're like people then always, it is what it is. Yeah, I remember.
It takes the heart out of it.
Yeah, I went to a USC game and there was the tailgate on one side, which was great, but then right outside the stadium, there's the corporate area tailgate and stuff, and it just wasn't the same experience.
Yeah,
like
it
it was
stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, you guys have to provide those parking spots because, as you just said, there's not a lot of space. Well, there's not a lot of space to park.
Yeah.
Right? And it was, so to give up those stalls is actually a big deal for the club.
Yeah.
To hand those away so that tailgating can happen. And so it can happen without the club and all that, obviously. So it's Jerry Haraxi, Spirit of Edmonton, them.
Great job, yeah.
And what they
Yes.
do. It's been just absolutely incredible to watch and see what's grown.
Yeah.
And Eric's gone for a couple years and I haven't been able to go
Eric
because I've been doing
loves the
pre-games and I was like,
tailgate.
geez.
I think he might
So it's
like it more than sitting with you guys and watching the game.
Well, he has a great
yeah.
time. Sometimes
Well, it's not even
he's
his team.
already.
He hates the team in a sense,
Well,
like
yeah, I
he is
love
a Rider fan.
I love when he comes and sits in my seats because he's always hooping it up. And then, depending on how the game's going, either he pulls his usual Irish goodbye, but if he's having a real good time, he lets it fly. And then sometimes, if the weather's bad or the game's not going well, we go into the directors club, and he loves that too. Because Shochu will always be like, "Here's a few tickets," and then Eric, "Oh, let's get some drinks."
Yeah. No, it's always a good time. It's
Yeah.
always good to see you guys down there. The one thing in Pullman that they do is their tailgate is overnight.
What?
Whoa!
So people line up. So it's a Friday night game. So people line up Thursday morning, and
jeez.
they close down the parking lot on campus. I think they said 4:30.
Wow.
And the RVs roll in, and it's first come, first serve. We weren't there when they rolled in, probably for the best. Apparently, it's chaos. People just find their spots, and all that they're provided with is a piece of asphalt to park their vehicle, and there's porta potties, and then they do the rest. People come in there. These rigs are we've all seen them before, but they're massive.
Yeah.
Like patios are swinging out of these things, and they have campfires that are going, and they have barbecues that they roll out of the back, and I'm like, holy cow, like. What's your house like? But it was really cool to see that, and that's something that we want to experiment with is maybe the potential for some sort of an overnight tailgate.
Oh,
Interesting.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
I've never heard of it being an overnight thing. That's just
They come Thursday for a Friday game, and most of the games are Saturday, so they'll roll
Friday
in the day before
to Saturday.
they leave Sunday.
And usually
Now-
Pac-12's a later games too. Like
Yes.
their afternoon or evening games and stuff. There's no morning games in the Pac-12.
There is a football field just south of the parking lot with a lot of space that isn't used for soccer anymore.
We couldn't
Yeah,
drive
it's sad.
RVs on it, but
Yeah, you don't want
we
to
have
chew up
we
that.
have some ideas that are percolating.
I like this. Embracing it. I like it. That's cool. I always scoot over to the games with my brother.
I've
And
heard,
then
yeah.
We park our scooters at Santa Maria Goretti. We're allowed because my uncle was the first child ever baptized there.
I knew that because he's mentioned that before.
Yes, and
Humble
I'm
brag.
glad you've
Humble
noticed
brag.
that.
yes. I'm just saying, so if the priest gets mad and he sees the Gazzolas roll up, it's like, hey, my
Well, it's
no-no.
also city property. That's where you're supposed to
Yeah,
leave those
exactly.
scooters.
It's within the zone where
Yeah.
Lime allows it. That's also very important. But if the priest comes out, hey, what are you guys doing? I'll be like, hey, my no-no built the pews in there. And John Louis Gazzola, first baptized child, that's my uncle. And then we're going to the game.
And then you just ditch the scooters and run away.
We park them nicely.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Respectful.
Yeah.
So you just don't want to be respectful to a priest? Like
Always
you-
respectful.
Wow, but if the priest, you don't just, it's a priest. If he says, can you please move those? It's a no.
No, we just respond with what I
This is
just
city
said.
property.
And then don't answer his question. Yeah. What are you guys doing?
Maybe he has a reason for you guys needing to move him. Did you think of that?
Why
Maybe-
are we deep diving
Maybe
on this?
there's a baptism
I'm trying to
going
make
or
a joke
something,
here.
and he's just trying to make it the space clear so that people could walk in and enjoy
I
the
wish
baptism.
you were AI right now.
I could be AI. I could just type
You
out
are.
my
We're plugging you in.
responses
Your USB drive
do
is
all of
hanging
that.
out right
I
now.
was skeptical of coming on this show, guys. It was actually been fun.
Thank
I'll
you.
slide that in there.
Appreciate that. Yeah. So we'll book you in every week. You could take Gager's spot since he doesn't want to show up anymore.
If you give me his salary, I will. Yeah,
Oh,
I'll do
sure.
that.
Which is
Perfect.
Gager just comes in and opens up our beer fridge and starts drinking.
Well, He's getting more than I have
And
gotten
now
so far.
you're allowed
Touche.
to use the. I offered you a Mott's Clamato.
You
Caesar.
You did. And I'm not a Clamato guy. They are very popular. They're excellent beverage, and everybody else should buy them. But I'm more of a Fruit Stations guy
Oh,
in terms of Mott's products.
Okay, fair enough.
I love crushing those on game day. If you see me reach into the back pocket, I'm grabbing
Fruit Stations. All right.
Fair enough. That's what you're
You
going
got to
for.
stay fueled up.
I need a little,
Yeah.
yeah.
How's it with Hernan? Because he's
It's
like
challenging. It's
I think
challenging.
we
Yeah,
got to get
no,
into
we
like
know.
there does come a point where we got to share all the terrible stuff about Hernan.
there's so much,
Yeah. How much time do we have left in the program?
as much as you want. We're gonna cut into.
We could cut
Lock
into
Shop,
later
yeah.
shows and just really go after Hernan here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, there are some moments where I wonder if Hernan, if he really, I don't even know what to say. Hernan's a beauty.
He's a
we
beauty.
We
You
have a
can't
good
even
time.
go anywhere with him.
Yeah.
No, it's not
Right? Like
you
it's
know, if
hard
you
to even
wanted-
just start ripping him because there's
Can't.
nothing to rip him for because he's the best. I
You
guess.
know, the one thing I really respect about Hernan is he writes all his own greeting cards.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he knows what ChatGPT is.
Yeah.
Are you sure he writes greeting cards?
If he was going to write a greeting card,
He would
then
do it sincerely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. I love seeing him on the sidelines, like when you guys are on the road, and he's like this. And he's got
Yeah,
the
he's
wide
locked in.
stance and he's got the scowl going.
He's focused.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's locked
He's in tune.
He is dialed right in. And he's like, I can't take it, Tom. Things were going good during the game. And then we had that bad play. I'm like, just take a deep breath. There's still a quarter left to play. Okay, man. Okay.
Yeah. There's been some games where, things have gotten away from us a few times for sure. It's fascinating. It's been very interesting for me because I grew up around sports and I've
Yeah.
worked in the sports sort of industry. But the job in Regina when I was with the Pats before I came to the Elks, and this job are the first jobs where I've been, part of a team.
Yeah.
Working at the conference is different or covering sports is different. And sometimes you look at people and you're like, when I was in those other roles, you're like, why are you so invested? Like, you're not out there. It's weird when you get in it and you're like, no, like I am invested in this, like incredibly invested in it. And it's hard to separate yourself from the results because what they do and what the team does has such a huge impact on us on a day-to-day basis that you really do take that sort of one team mentality. And I think you have to in order to do the job well. So,
Yeah, and you build relationships
Yeah, exactly.
with the players and the coaching staff. And yeah, you do. It's natural to get invested in.
yeah, if you're not invested, then you probably need to look in the mirror.
Yeah. Yes, that's so true.
So the scowl is investment.
I'm waiting for you to have your Dave Jamieson, Ed Hervey moment, like at the Labor Day game, where you need to grab a player before they get into a monster brawl on the field and you escort them to the locker room. Like that photo of JMO,
That's iconic, eh?
it is so good. Yeah.
Well, there's the two photos of it. And I don't know if many
What's the first one?
So the first one was Dave yelling at Ed.
Yeah.
And then the second photo, you could almost be like Dave realized his mistake.
Whoops.
And because Ed's just glaring at him. And there's these two back-to-back photos of it. And like Dave's like still pretty stern, but
Yeah.
you could also see just a little bit in the eyes like, I screwed up. I
Like-
went after Ed here.
Ed's from Compton. Uh-oh.
And he's got that big key ring for the locker room.
Yeah.
Do they still have that for Calgary? Do you know?
I'm
is it a
pretty
little-
sure they haven't changed the locks there. Well,
that's the thing.
They haven't changed a lot of things at that building in a
Yeah,
long time.
it's it's old
Antiquated.
School. Yeah, it's old school.
Yeah.
Them in Montreal won't get Grey Cups probably until things are sorted out with facilities.
That's just fine.
It is, and it also is like I hope that they also sort it out soon.
Me too.
because I would love to go to. You haven't been to Montreal for a Grey Cup. It'd be
No.
fun to go to Montreal for a Grey Cup. It is fun to go to Calgary for a Grey Cup, also partly because it is so close.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
To go for the weekend like we did in 19.
19 was fun.
great.
Yeah.
and it's just like, hey, can you guys get that sorted out? One for your teams, but also then so you can get Grey Cups and we can go come for a Grey Cup. Like,
Yeah.
can we figure this out, please?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get it done.
I think everybody who's a football fan, whether you're involved directly in the league or not, hopes that they get a new facility.
They
Period.
need one.
Calgary is their facilities, whether it's the Saddle Dome, it's McMahon, other facilities at the amateur level. It's
Their ball diamond
is
is the
terrible.
reason they didn't have a baseball team, and like they'll never get another baseball team, is they've replaced it.
Yeah,
Sucks.
they're in need of some facility upgrades down there, and they're obviously getting the rink.
And that cost us the Trappers.
Didn't help for sure.
Yeah.
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 If Calgary doesn't go away, Edmonton's not
Well,
going
Vancouver
away, right?
went too.
But at least if you have Edmonton, Calgary, you always have the two teams come up here. They could play their sets.
Spend a week. Yep.
Yeah, true.
One team's up in Edmonton, one team's in Calgary. They flip. Edmonton, Calgary go on the road.
Most of our problems
You
in
know.
Edmonton are because of Calgarians. You're right.
Hold
I
on.
agree. There's a few people at the Elks who are from Calgary who will remain unnamed. And now that I think about it, they are the root of most of our problems, specifically in the marketing department.
I don't want to say his name either.
He's got a good first name, but he's still a problem.
I could say
I love
a lot
you,
about
EJ.
Calgary.
You're a
I
beauty.
could say a lot about Calgary now, but I won't
EJ's
do it.
good. He's good stuff.
We had him on the Hangout. He joined on.
He was
before you.
great.
Wow. He was even on before me.
Yeah, you've turned us
But
down.
you're by yourself because that's how much of a presence you have.
No, it's
Well, he
because
wasn't-
Gager
oh,
has his
exactly.
nipples,
Well,
Gager didn't show up,
but I'll take it.
so that's the
That was a
reason.
good
because
tire pump.
Gager didn't. He knew he couldn't live up to the hype with you here.
And the tiny mouse, which Iwanyk just clicked.
Yes, he
Well, because
did.
I got to move things over and get to our
Yeah.
next segment right away here. But see, like people won't even notice it because it's so small.
True. It's so stealthy.
It's no one would know that I'm doing things outside of the clicking of the button and you making
It's a
mention of
cheap
it,
mouse,
pointing
so the
it out
click
there.
is really loud. That's when you can tell it's a cheap mouse. The
spring.
size
But
of
it
the
probably,
mouse
you know what
and
else?
the
It probably
click.
doesn't even show up on the thing here. No one talk for a second. See, it doesn't barely moves. Barely even move. It's already moving like nothing. It doesn't even pick up.
Oh,
It's all because you're pointing it out, and now people are
This
learning.
is the beauty of, I would say, live television, but this is better than TV. The beauty of the internet is we can call out your things in real time and pull the curtain back, so to speak,
Yes.
for the viewers
Thanks.
and the listeners.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
This has been so. I love it. I love Dahmer just needling Iwanyk.
It's out of
Jasmine,
love.
Yes, Jasmine texts in. Hernan and I are both Southsiders and agree more. Southside events. They want more Southside events.
For us.
Yeah.
Not saying like
I
the
was
Elks.
yeah.
We're not talking about like you somehow
We're
bring
on-
the Elks to
No,
the
no,
south
no,
side.
sorry, I
We're gonna
didn't-
open up a. We're gonna
not
put you
gonna
guys
play
in the
it for
IKEA
field. Yeah.
parking lot for
Yeah,
a game
no,
or
sorry, I
something.
should have articulated
Yeah,
that
no,
better.
it's that was for us.
Okay.
They have Jasmine's been upset that we
Haven't done more
basically go
Southside
anything,
stuff.
nothing to the south side, and
That's fair.
Yesterday was
and yesterday,
Southside.
and that's why
Yeah,
she
I
said
like
she had
that
to show
stuff.
up.
Yeah.
She said she had to show up yesterday because she's complaining about it, and she's like, "Well, I can't. I'm 8 minutes away. I kind of have to now
Yeah.
show up."
Good to see
You
you,
can't
Jasmine.
complain
Yeah.
about something, and then when we do it, not show
You
up.
should
know?
have a later event for people with kids.
a later event.
Yeah, so like starts at 7.
So later's
That's
better.
what I
Is that
consider
what you're
bed.
saying?
Yeah, because
later
if
is
this
better.
is like this, it started at like 7, then I'd be there at like 7:45. But just for future, just for me, just you guys.
You
get
want
it
to
at
know
we
one
can
time.
accommodate.
In all honesty, Dusty would do us an event around your schedule because
Perfect.
he wants to be with you.
I want to be with him too.
That's the thing. Like, so like you saying that right now, like the next time we think of something, I think there will be one where
do it
Dusty
for
will
the
be like,
kids.
just so Dahmer can come. But now you have to show up if we do that.
I
Like,
will 100%.
There is no not showing up and like not. There was a couple Riverhawks games he didn't show up to this year.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
true.
There was a couple. You know,
Dahmer.
You know why?
So-
I'm
and that's-
not,
and
I'm
those
not even
games
going to
are-
name the
those games
people
are
who held me
after
back
7
from that.
o'clock.
I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus other than my wife. That's
she's
all.
not watching. There's
No,
no
she's
chance.
at work. I hope she's at work.
Well, she can still. People can watch from work. People do watch at work.
People do watch it.
People watch at your offices at work.
Well, I know. Trust me, it's on the record. But yeah, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is like, so my day is, no, I don't have to go through my whole itinerary, but it's work. Then it's the kids for, what time do I get them? 3 hours. And then my day resumes
Opens up.
adulting. That's why I curl at
So-
8:30 on Thursday nights.
Ah,
It's like the prime time.
okay.
You go for a pint before, pint during.
It's a sweet
Sometimes
spot.
pint after.
So an elk
Gotcha.
season is summer, naturally. So you got to be working a lot for them. You then have kids, and then so you can't do things till 8. Like golf game is destroyed. I'm assuming.
He's a
No.
great golfer.
I know, but can he go?
5:45.
But like,
AM.
is it 9 or did you get 18?
18.
Do
Usually
you?
we tee off at between 5:45 and 6. And it's a 2-hour, 10-minute round. Is our,
Because
like,
you don't
sweet
drive
spot.
though. You walk, don't you?
We walk, yeah.
And you still get it done under 3.
Yeah, myself and Connor Hood from U of A. We'll
Nice.
go for 210 round. I'm in the office by 8:30. Leave the office at 4:30 to get the kids.
So you're still crushing it with the golf clubs.
It's usually it's 2 times a week, sometimes 3 times a week.
That's nice.
That's pretty good.
Usually Monday, Wednesday.
So the game's still going strong.
Dahmer's a very good golfer.
I know.
It was decent this year. Yeah.
So what was like best, worst round? Do you know?
Best round was 75. Worst round was 85. I'm like always. It's always like. It's always there.
That's a
85
good
is-
spot to be in, though.
That's a
like,
great
I know
spot.
you
That's a
always want
fun
to be
spot
better,
to be in.
but that's a good spot.
You're
to be
still
in.
trying to get to the 72, par or whatever, but you're also just having great rounds, breaking 80.
making nice shots,
It's interesting.
attacking the pin.
The less I care about my score is usually when I play better. It's just nice to get out and shoot the breeze.
Yeah, it's a mental thing, I think.
Oh, it's very mental. That's a lot of people's problems in golf.
We were
is
joking
mental.
with him. What was it? Torrey Pines Stadium or not? Championship
Torrey Pines,
conditions.
South Course.
You'd shoot 150 from the tips.
From the tip. Oh, I
I
think
played there. It's awesome.
Thank you. We had people yesterday saying it wasn't great.
Oh,
Their
I love
experience
it.
wasn't
There
great.
was
Their
a few
experience
people that
wasn't
had
great. That's it.
underwhelming, experiences, but there were some that had great
The
experiences.
course is beautiful. Like in terms of just
South
playing
or
the
north?
course.
Or did you do
The
both?
south one is the PGA course, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So on the tournament they play both, but the weekend
The U.S.
it's
Open
south.
one they played south.
It's south.
Yeah, south is the one we played.
Because and
played
it's
it
the tougher
twice
one.
actually.
Really?
Yeah, we went down. Went down to San Diego for 6 days to watch the Jays play the Padres. Went to Torrey Pines one day, had a tee time, and then the guy was like, "Yeah, like you don't really need tee time if you show up here at 6 a.m. Like you can just walk on."
What?
I was like, "What?" So then we went the next day at 6 a.m.
wow.
Damn.
Walked right on. They got us on.
How'd you shoot? Like, did you play it well? Was it tough? Like,
I think I shot 90 the first day, and the second day I shot 80.
nice. So you got used to it.
Well, what time of year?
We went
remember?
there in when was this? July or August?
Okay.
Summertime, yeah.
Because like I would love to go in January, like the weeks leading up to the farmers.
Yep.
Where they really grow that rough out and they make it. And from the tips, like I think 180.
They don't let you play the tips. They don't even have the tips out.
No?
No.
Well, that's smart.
Yeah,
Because
they
I think
just-
too many
they
people would
just
try to do it as
wipe
a
that
thing,
tee
and it
box
would
off,
just
yeah.
be
Too many heroes.
trying to be it, and it'd be it's somebody like me doing it in 180 shots.
Guys like this.
Right?
7-hour
problems.
round.
I think 10 a hole, averaging about 10 a hole. I think that's what I would do.
You know what? And
From
I'm
the
not,
tips.
Not to diminish the course because it's incredible, but the hardest part of the course is the greens by far, the undulation.
But isn't that usually like with golf courses? Because of the speed and all of that, like you actually have to read the greens because if you don't, you're not going to be close. But then there's also a speed factor to it where those roll.
Yeah, and they're not rolling at U.S. Open levels, obviously, but they're still rolling, and it's just that's what was the hardest part of the course.
Yeah, but for me, this is how I kind of envisioned yesterday. It'd probably take me 3 to get past the front tees from the tips.
I think I've only golfed with you a couple times, so I can't verify that. Are you good?
Well, I
think you're better than that, man.
I don't-
He's better than that. He can spray
at
the ball
best
sometimes.
it's 2 from the tips past the front tees. At best, it's 2, and then I'm going into the
man.
rough, and then it's gonna take me a couple shots to get out of the rough. Like it's taking me
You're
like
right.
6 shots.
I won't golf with you anymore.
down there. It's don't worry, I can't golf right now, or for a while, so we don't need to get into that one.
Okay.
Let's actually quickly get into movers and shakers, which is presented by Marco and Mike Realty Group One, Realty One Group
It's the best
Insiders.
part of the show. I love this.
Which part?
This segment.
Movers
This
and
segment.
shakers.
Yes.
Perfect. MarcoandMike.com for more information on the dynamic duo. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, give Marco and Mike a try. We were talking about it yesterday. I'll go into it. What courses would you like to go and travel to, move to? I guess in a way, move. Not moving full time there, but move
play.
to go play. Is there?
I absolutely want to play St. Andrews.
Yeah.
That's a must for me.
I've known a few people that have played that one actually now.
And the Cabot courses out in the Maritimes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, those are supposed to be amazing. The Maritimes are supposed to have some fantastic courses.
Cabot Revelstoke in 2025.
What?
Yeah, Cabot Revelstoke. It's a brand new course.
See, and I've never golfed even BC, which I need to do.
Yeah, like Grey Wolf, Predator Ridge. I've never played any.
Predator
of those.
Ridge is awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to. I want to play TPC Scottsdale. I've never done it.
It's overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played
Yeah.
there too. It was cool, but like for me, you go there to play the par 3. What is it? 16.
Yep.
Yeah, stadium hole.
Stadium hole.
But there's no
But the-
benches or anything. It's just a hole.
They should build it up and make that a permanent.
I think so, too.
Stands, and then every time somebody plays there, like that experience alone would be incredible. But it's just a normal par 3.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
There's also TPC Sawgrass for 17th, which is the
Yeah.
one over the water.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Except that's like $700 a round or something like that. That one is very expensive to get onto.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a launch pad coming to Edmonton, which is like a Top Golf. There's talk of that coming soon here.
Top Golf is amazing.
It's one thing I haven't done.
It's a good time.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I thought it was like going to be the dumbest thing.
No.
Like my brother once we're on a trip and he's like, let's go to Top Golf. And my dad and I are like, that's stupid. Like it's a driving range. We're not going. That's the dumbest thing.
It's a bar, basically. Right?
But like,
Nightclub,
this
bar,
was like 5 years ago or
driving
something.
range.
Didn't really know much about it. But
Yeah.
like, that's dumb. It's a driving range. Whatever. We can just go to any driving range. And then my brother and his wife and a bunch of friends, they went down a few months later or something, and they played it. And we asked my sister-in-law, like, how was it? She's like, it was actually really fun. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've never heard a bad
And
thing
it's-
about Top Golf.
It's a good time.
It is.
Like,
it has
it's-
everything. Like there's arcades, there's dance floors,
There's
and
music pumping.
music.
You're having just a good time.
Yeah, and the games that you can play against one another, like
There's
it's
an
so-
Angry Birds one I actually played, which is really
Really?
weird. But like you like shoot the bird, like so you're trying to hit the shot, but you're basically based on your shot is you're shooting the bird at
That-
like a tower and you're trying to knock it down, and it
Yeah.
was fun.
Yeah.
It was great, and I did Launchpad in Calgary, and it was fine. Like it was
all
good.
right?
It was nice. Like and I would love for that
It's
to come to
Calgary,
Edmonton.
touche.
And it's also, it's not Top
Yeah.
Golf. But when Launchpad does come to Edmonton, as I've heard it's supposed to, I think people are going to have a good time. And like it could stay open till like minus 20 degrees outside.
Wow,
They have the heaters going, they have all that. So like it could be cold out, but you could still go do it and
That's important.
feel nice. Oh, absolutely. Otherwise it's only open because that stuff needs to be open in the winter more than the summer here.
yeah,
Yeah, because if you're people who are serious golfers or not even serious golfers, it's fun to go and just play around, play
Yeah.
nine
Yeah.
holes. So I agree with that. It's sort of like I could see them being really, really busy, and like the spring would be insane.
Yeah.
like there'd be like
totally.
2 months where that place would be just absolutely packed.
And it'd be a place where you could go at 8 o'clock at night and golf.
Perfect.
Yeah.
See?
Have a beer, hit a few balls.
Yep.
Listen to this.
Go get a
in
couple
my,
rounds.
in my AirPods, under my toque.
because it keeps it secure.
I just struggle putting the toque on. It knocks off my AirPods when I'm putting them. I'm a little worried.
You were like one
saying.
of one.
That's
that
cool.
deals with
That
this.
is a
You want to know
101.
something? I love that. I'm a one of one in this world of 8 billion people, Tommy.
Yes,
AirPod
Matthew.
toque guy.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You are you, Matthew.
I am a very unique individual.
Yes, you are.
And that's all that matters.
That's why we love you. Okay, Top Golf, like
Yeah.
the best was my dad and uncle had no clue what it was. And we're like, hey, we're going to a friend's birthday party. It was the one in Scottsdale. And they're like, what the hell is this? We've golfed like 6 rounds this trip already. We're like, this is different.
Yeah.
Trust us. This is on us, my brother and I. And we drive up and my dad's like, okay, what is this? This is golf? And we're like, yeah, it's like this driving range, bar, arcade. The one in Vegas at MGM, you can just go to the pool if you want.
Oh.
It's free. You could just
Wow.
go to the pool. Yeah. Anyway, so they get there. They're like, oh my God, they see the 4 levels of the range, whatever you want to call it, pods. And we're playing, and the lights just. My dad's up, and he's playing, and he's about to swing, and the lights go out. The music stops, and he's like, "The power went out," and we're like, "Relax." And he's like, "Well, I can't hit. The power's out. All the screens are still on and everything." And then like one target, just like with the bass starts going. It's like boom, 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 and then another one's like boom, 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 and then it just hits. And he's like, "Oh my God, that is amazing!" And we're like, "Okay, go shoot. You're wasting time. Let's go."
You had your moment. Move
You
along.
had your moment, but it was hilarious. He's like, the power went out. We're like, no, just watch. It's so cool.
It's a thing for non-golf golfers.
Yes.
So they could have a fun time.
It's a great
golfing where
time.
then the real golfers
Yeah.
can step up
Date
and still
night,
do.
whatever, yeah.
If you're a guy that just wants to really focus on your driving range, but no, you can't take a girl just to a driving range. You can go work on your shot, but
Yes.
then be like, oh, we're having a lot of fun, aren't we? And
Yeah. It's
but
just
you're
a cool
also
place
really
to be by the
focused on your
sounds of it,
shot.
Love Top Golf.
It's yeah, we need more of those type of things. It's
Beef Nips he stacks up a couple of texts. Has anyone golfed in Cancun? Heading there for a bachelor party, looking for recommendations on courses. Also mentioned yesterday, but Wecopa in Phoenix should be on the top of everybody's list.
Yes.
Is it that? Have you played
Yes. It's excellent.
it? Okay, noted.
It's better than TPC Scottsdale.
Really? Okay.
and honestly,
Beef Nips.
I have not often just online or whatever seen a lot of people be like TPC Scottsdale is worth the money.
But it has the allure because
It does,
of
yeah.
It's
the
16th,
name. Yeah.
but it's 16th hole, and again, but there's no,
Right.
it's not set up. Like at least Torrey Pines, when you golf at the allure to me is Tiger won on this course.
Right,
like
right.
that's the thing. It's Tiger won there 8 times. That's a big deal. It's hosted U.S. Opens.
Yep.
Scottsdale, it's it's a party, and the 16th hole is the stadium.
Yeah.
And if you go and it's not a stadium, well, it's just the 16th hole.
Yeah.
It is. It really is.
Yeah,
know,
you're not
that's what-
going. This is where
It's
Joel Damon took off his shirt. Like
There's a plaque there with him shirtless.
on this spot in 2021, Joel Damon removed his shirt and showed off his unfit body.
He's become a star
He's a character
because of the Netflix
Yes.
Full Swing. I guess season 2, like in the trailer, they talking like your life has changed a lot over the last year, and
He's a great story.
people love Joel Damon now.
The last text Beef Nips sent in has to do with Topgolf. We had a buddy fall off the second deck and get caught in the net at the Topgolf Scottsdale. Scary at first, but we were able to laugh once we got him out. Yikes.
Could have been dark.
That could have been
end
dark.
to the trip.
Yes.
And how did he go? Well, Top Golf.
He went out doing what he loved.
Falling at
He was
Top
at Top Golf.
you
Had a
see
glorious
on,
time.
on TikTok and Instagram, people like girls on dates wearing heels and they'll like try to swing through their shoes and they'll literally like trip and fall into the net, or like guys wasted and they fall. It's like
Guys wasted golfing?
Never.
No. That can't be.
doesn't happen.
Have you guys golfed in Mexico?
I
No,
haven't.
Cancun. Any recommendations? I've
Well,
never.
I don't know where. I think you just almost go where your resort is. Like most resorts are connected somehow with a golf course, and you just go and you have a good time. My brother and a buddy went one time, and there was like no one on the course, and they just kept getting served. They kept just bringing them drinks and food whenever they
best.
wanted it, and they just were taken care of and had a great time.
The when I stayed in Cancun proper, it was not down the, because it's almost like a 7, right? Cancun.
Yep.
And we didn't stay on the long side. We stayed at the top side, and there was a course right around there behind all the resorts. I can't remember the name of it, but it looked nice. Like it looked all right. Looked like the grass was lush and everything. I have no clue if it was a good course or not. And then I stayed in Mayan a couple of times, and I never had the chance to golf. So I'm not sure. I don't have any recommendations. Anyone out there, if you got any recommendations for beef nips in the Cancun area?
When you guys
us
go
up.
traveling for golf, do you bring your own clubs or do you rent?
I bring them.
Bring them.
Damn right. Always.
A couple times I went golfing on my honeymoon. We went to Europe.
You went golfing in Europe on your honeymoon? How did that go over?
So we went. We did 10 days or whatever in Europe, and one of the trips was to Aberdeen in Scotland for a day, basically specifically to golf. And I was like to my wife, I'm like, if we're gonna go all that way and we're gonna play this course, it was the week before the Scottish Open, so all the stands were up. It was incredible. So I'm like, if we're gonna go all that way, I'm not renting clubs. Like that is, I need to have my own clubs. I want to be comfortable. She says like, okay, whatever, sure. So I bring my clubs and I've got this huge travel bag. And we went to London, then we flew from London to Aberdeen. And we got to London at Heathrow at 4:30. I think it was like on a Friday. So it was like total rush hour.
Yeah.
So we take public transit, and I've got suitcases on my back, and I'm rolling this travel bag of golf clubs through the tube, and people are like pissed at me. Like it's taking up the size of another like human, and they're like, what is this guy doing basically?
He's
So
golfing.
we're right by the door, and I'm holding on to my golf clubs like, I don't know, like it's my child. This is obviously before we had kids. This is years ago when we were allowed to go on trips and have fun for extended periods of time. Anyways, so I'm holding these golf clubs, and I've got these suitcases around my back, and this guy bolts out of the tube and spins me around, and I'm holding onto these clubs for dear life, and my suitcase is like in the door, and I'm like, and my wife has to like pull it out of the door. I'm getting strangled by my suitcase because I had to bring my stupid golf clubs. So yes, I bring my golf clubs always.
How'd you
They are
shoot?
cumbersome.
Were they worth it? Was it worth bringing it?
Oh, they didn't help me at all. I don't think I played. I can't even remember what I shot. And the other thing was sorry, this is taking up a little bit of
Oh,
time.
I love this.
So we're there specifically to golf,
Yeah.
and my wife is, an awesome person, and is like, yeah, I'll walk the course with you, and you go golf. It's a great thing for you. Blah blah blah. She was great about it, and we're leaving like really early to get to the course so I can hit some balls and putt and enjoy and relax. And we get in the cab at the hotel, and he's like, where do you want to go? And I say, Royal Aberdeen. He says, okay, no problem. And we're driving and driving and driving. And I'm like, on Google Maps, like it was way closer than this. Like, what is going on? And I said, excuse me, like, where are you taking us? And he's like, well, I'm taking you to the golf course. I said, yeah, but which one? He said, the Trump course.
Oh.
And I was like, no, Royal Aberdeen. And he's like, oh, shoot. We drove past that like 20 minutes ago. I was like, are you kidding me? So then he turns around and we get to the course and we get there like right at the tee time. So like I'm running up to the pro shop and like it's a very hoity place. It's like the third oldest club in the world. And the guy is like looking at me up and down. He's like this guy rolls in here like 2 minutes before his tee time. Like, what is wrong with this guy basically? Takes my money. And then we go to the first tee. I'm totally frazzled.
Yeah.
The first tee is right here. And literally 3 feet behind it is the clubhouse and the bar. And there's people lined up at the window and they stare out on the first tee and watch everybody hit their first ball. I'm like, oh, well, now I'm going to shank this ball with all these hoity-toity Scottish golfers in there who have been going to this club for 50 years. And I'm like nervous. Like, I'm like super. Luckily, I wasn't paired up for whatever reason. So I hit the ball and I absolutely fleeced it. And it was the only shot I hit well all day.
Oh, it's the only one that mattered then.
And I was just like, yeah, boys, I shot 67. It was a good time.
I think I heard St. Andrews has like a crowd that watches as you tee off on that first
awkward.
time. And it's just
uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's pressure.
Especially when your cab driver throws you for a huge loop.
Oh, to the Trump course too.
Yeah, that was before he was president. During his, I don't know, I would say,
reality TV success.
yeah,
We'll call it.
Yeah,
his apprentice years. I don't know.
Yeah.
I golfed at times with rentals, and I realized like it took me like half the round, one round, to figure out the rental clubs, and from then on, it's like I just got to bring my clubs. Like straight up, it's
more
I
fun.
know my clubs. I know what I
Yeah.
could hit with them. Like I know how these play, and I got a nice bag, which basically becomes my suitcase. I could load it up really nice. I don't need to take another bag. I could just load that up,
Yeah.
and I'm good to go.
The Trump course in Scotland.
The windmills.
That's where the windmill thing
Yes, it
came
was.
from.
It was.
That's why he dislikes windmills, because they put windmills in the water off the coast of the course.
That's correct. Yeah.
And there's also a bunch of like natural, I can't remember, like there's some natural grass, something that he disrupted.
Yes,
That
he
was
got
like supposed
fined.
to be environmentally protected. That's his like slant and reason why he dislikes windmills and like environmental protections.
Yep,
Because
they're-
of that course.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw the windmills.
Rick Riley, if you ever get the chance, wrote this phenomenal book called Commander in Cheat. It's about
Yes.
golfing and how it speaks to the type of person you are and how you golf. And I believe that's where that story became famous. So Rick Riley, if you ever see him on interviews, just absolutely great, very entertaining, and then a even better writer. So
Well, back to earlier conversation was a just
SI.
SI
guy,
legend
yeah.
for
That's
years.
right.
Back page, I think it was the last page of it for so long. He was that guy, and he's now out of sports. I think just in general.
oh man, that book
Think
is so
so.
great. Like I just destroyed it in like an hour and a half. Like and it's the stories are phenomenal, and that's one.
I haven't read it actually. I should.
You'd
I've read
love it,
excerpts,
Dahmer.
but
I think
yeah.
my brother has it at his place because he borrows books and never reads them.
Let's not go into more family drama.
I'm just saying.
Just talk about how much you love your brother.
I love him tremendously.
Yeah, that's it.
He
Don't-
scooters with him to Elks games, and it's a really good bonding time for them.
Yeah.
you guys need that right now, just to bring you guys
go for a
closer
scoot,
together.
Paul.
He's not watching, guaranteed.
It's
So-
exclusively Lime too, because they're good. They're nice to the Elks.
They're very quick.
yeah,
They're very
only Lime
fast.
scooters.
I've never actually used a scooter. Truthfully,
Matthew,
I've never used
you are a
one.
robot.
Yes,
I just walk.
Spread your wings.
I
Yeah.
could walk. I enjoy it.
Okay, Lieutenant
lovely.
Eric.
He started using them this year.
Oh,
because he
wow.
moved further from where
Yeah.
he used to be. So now he's
now
got
he's a cheater.
He's got to cheat a little bit and takes the limes for a bit. I've
love
never
the
needed
scooters.
to use it much. I don't know. Walking to a Riverhawks game, I'm good. I take the LRT to an Elks game. So, and Rogers Place is right across the street. If I had lined to Rogers Place, I'm an idiot.
Yes.
Well, that is true.
So,
Correct.
I'm an
The
idiot.
idiot part,
for,
yes.
That's
scooting
just
part,
there,
yeah.
but I'm an extra idiot for doing that. So that's
What about if you were going to give you a
like I've gone
hypothetical.
to like Beer Revolution in Oliver Square from where I am, and that I'll walk. I'm good. I love to
Yeah,
walk.
it's 8 blocks.
It's a nice walk.
Yeah,
It's a nice scooter too.
it is a nice scooter.
It's fun.
That's a good point.
I know,
But walking is
walking's
good.
kind of
It's
good
for
too.
you.
Yeah,
So
it is good.
I don't know.
Get those steps
We'll let it.
in.
We'll let it pass.
Jasmine with a quick recommendation for Beef Nips, who's headed to Cancun for a trip. Beef Nips says he's staying at a villa and not a resort, by the way, so
Okay.
that might change like the travel
Yep.
plans. and proximity. Jasmine says, go to Tulum to golf. It's 50 minutes away. So if you can catch a shuttle, maybe get a good price on one, especially if it's a bunch of dudes on this bachelor party, that would be the recommendation from Jasmine. Thank you, Jasmine. And that's for Beef Nips. Beef Nips also picked up a bunch of 6 o'clocker loggers and said that they're almost sold out at the location he went to.
There you go.
Which location does he say or no?
There's a run on them.
There's a run.
He just grabbed
Oh, boy.
some 6 o'clockers from Alley Cat. They're almost sold out. Get them quick.
Oh, from Alley-
And then
oh.
Beef Nips sent in a picture of him, and I
Oh,
believe
look
that's
at
his
this
wife
guy.
at St. Andrews on the bridge.
Frickin'
Very-
epic.
That's a great photo.
They almost
Great.
ruined that bridge.
That's on my bucket list.
What do you mean they almost
They-
tore
Take
it down? Come
Well,
on.
no, they built they I think needed to stabilize it or something, so they added like extra stones around it to hold it in place or something.
Yeah.
And it looked the worst. That they
Oh,
immediately
really?
got rid of it basically because everyone tore into it on social media because, well, that's what we're good at in social media. If something that's bad, we make sure people know that it's bad. So
It's true. That's what it was made for.
Brad from Crossfield says, I think Tommy just likes saying Beef Nips. It is a funny name.
It's good.
Great photo, Beef Nips, by the way.
By the way, Surveyor Brett, I mentioned this already on the show. You must have not been listening when I brought it up, so I'll bring it up now. The coffee mugs are in for the Nasty Club, so I will have those out. I think an email today that is as early as tomorrow, Nasty Club members. I'll ship for those that want shipping, but for those that are going to pick up, you could pick up probably as early as tomorrow. All of our merch is thanks to our official merch partner, that is the Hive Product Marketing, products that bring the buzz. Check them out, thehiveproductmarketing.com. Ask for Chelsea. They did amazing work with everything that we had. That champion sweater that I was wearing yesterday, a lot of people loved it.
It's
and
nice.
People were like, how could I still buy it? And like, we'll have to do a store, I think, in the new year because
Yeah.
it's closed. When I get some of that merch in, maybe we'll have a few extra that we can sell, but the Hive did an amazing work. So thank you to everyone at the Hive there in Chelsea. And yeah, if you need any sort of promotional items, hiveproductmarketing.com is what you want to go check out.
Question, because you've been, like we joked about, but it's very true. That's your baby is the merch and the Nasty Club. And I know you and Chelsea curated the first pop-up shop.
Yeah.
So, because they have a ton of different options, a variety of things that you can choose from to curate your own type of store. For the next pop-up, would a golf shirt and a jacket be something we
Well, I
look
know you
at?
wanted to do the jacket. We did discuss the polo earlier.
Yeah.
We kiboshed that for certain reasons at the time. We
At
do
the
want to
time.
do it. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
okay.
we do want to do it.
But there's so, like,
There
the
was-
catalog that you went through, you said that there's thousands of
We were
items.
designing a golf polo, actually.
Yeah.
And then we
from
kiboshed
scratch?
it. Well, like where we want the logo, all that stuff, the color,
Yeah.
the look of it, which brand we wanted. We were actually fully designing it
You
and then
should do
kiboshed it.
Just cut out heads of you guys, like pattern, like rotating.
I love it.
People would buy that. That would be outstanding.
Some would. Some would.
And then you just see that on the golf course. You know, this is a
EST.
serious person.
Yeah.
This is
That's
a person
a
who
serious
takes life
golfer
seriously.
right there. Yeah.
There, we'll do EST golf travel bags.
Oh, listen.
So you're set to go.
Dahmer, you probably have like the
Trigger.
heavy duty case.
Yeah, it's a nice ping case from my friends at. Do you guys have? Can I say it? TJ at DeBoer's. Great guy.
TJ's a great guy.
Beauty.
Yeah. DeBoer's, they do great work.
Kid goes
too.
to the same daycare as my kids.
Nice.
They always say, "There's TJ."
He's a good dude. But I have one of those other travel bags, the soft shell one,
Yep.
and I traveled with that one.
Yeah, it's a soft one I have. It's a ping one. It's
Oh, the
fold it
ping
up.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, I have the.
You just need to
different
put
brand,
something in it
Hockey
to protect
stick.
the top.
Hockey
Cut
stick.
out a
Hockey
hockey
stick.
stick. That's what I use.
I bought like a pole that has like a little, like it's an umbrella look thing.
Yeah.
You put that on
That's
to
what the
protect your
wealthy
club.
people use.
Yes.
I just
It was
use
very
a cut
cheap.
off.
How does a
Sherwood
hockey
stick
How does that work?
just takes the impact off the
Yeah.
top? So the tallest thing is the hockey stick, so the driver can never get impacted.
That's true.
I see.
It-
That makes sense.
It's good. It protects the clubs. It fulfills its purpose, but it's cumbersome.
Mm-hmm.
It is very cumbersome. And you see some of the guys that like the hardcores that have the hard shell cases, and you're like,
That's intense.
that guy travels a lot for golf.
Yeah.
That is intense. And those ones are expensive.
Facebook Marketplace. Every so often you can find them. Nice
This is
deals.
the guy.
I just know a couple buddies. They're always just looking at golf stuff and like they're constantly buying golf stuff. And I've learned from them They're on eBay. They're on everything, looking at everything.
Smart.
I
Any little
guarantee you-
thing that it comes from golf, they're looking at it. And if I ever have a question, probably of where was best place to buy one of those, they've probably been looking at it already.
The hard cases on Facebook Marketplace, behind every hard case on Facebook, I'm sure there's a story of a guy who had it sitting in his basement and he used it once in the last 5 years. And
It's told to get rid of it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's time to move on. You don't use it anymore. Get it. It's time to go. That's
if you let me go on golf trips, I'd use it more.
so Kijiji Facebook Marketplace for golf stuff because people are trying to get rid of stuff because
People have lives. It's sad.
That's wow. Don't have kids.
C'est la vie.
That's true. One day they will
Then
go on trips with me.
have you started?
They better golf with me or else.
Has your son been?
He's got
playing
a
little
set
bit?
of clubs, yeah.
Have you gone like to little driving range or something for it?
We
at
just
all,
go
or so-
across to the park and hit hit foam balls there. That's enough.
Well,
It'd be scary at the driving range with him.
He'll just go running around.
Fear for everyone's life, those beside us and his as well. So we're not quite ready for that. We're working up to it.
But that's I feel like that's always the goal when people have kids. It's like, okay, got to get them into golf so then I could start golfing again because I could take them golfing with me at some point.
I don't care what else he does with his life as long as he golfs. I'll be proud of him.
I respect that.
Just be a good person in golf. That's
Yeah,
all I ask.
that's it.
You can
Just
live
golf.
at our house forever as long as you golf.
Man, I love golf. This time of year, it's always rough. But that's why it's nice
Yeah.
having all those virtual golf places like One Putt and stuff. Because
One Putt.
I did it one year where I did it consistently, like every 2 weeks. Was going with a buddy to go virtual golf, and it was just, it's not fully the same, obviously, but it was nice to just keep doing it,
Yeah.
and
It's
keep
the
going
itch,
at
yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
keep having it all fun. So I miss it.
The hard part about right now is it's like I actually find it harder now when there's no snow because it's like, man, if it warmed up 5 degrees, like I could be out there. Mm-hmm. But
I bet there's still one course open.
Well, it was last week.
That's the thing. I bet it's still open right now too, since there is no snow.
You want to go? Yeah, go for
I'm
it.
sure it is. I might have to make a call after just to double check.
Yeah.
I'm just very
Well,
curious.
our buddy Kent Morrison was taking shots of him putting and stuff. I was like, that's hardcore, and I respect that.
yeah.
You back at the office today, or are you,
Yeah.
you off?
No. I'm always on. Always got to be out there promoting the Elks. So we'll be I'll be back at the office here shortly.
I know that because we have almost time up here. I know everything that's happened with ownership and all that's coming. Are you expecting just overall a busy off season for the club, or is this going to be just because a couple years ago there was the big change of new president, new GM, new coach, all of that. Just a nice normal off season, kind of to a degree.
I don't know
taking
what
that
normal
out.
off season is, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Is there
'Cause
ever such thing
Yeah.
as, I guess, a normal off season?
It's been very busy
Yeah.
since the end of the year, and it will continue to be so.
What's busier, off season or season for you?
It's different. It's honestly the season is busier because we have the games. So like when we play on a Sunday, we're in the office Monday to Sunday, and then we might take Monday off after. But that's like that's a 7-day week for sure. In most cases, the off season is just steady, right? It's Monday to Friday. It's normal hours. It's 8:30 to 4:30 or 5 or whatever. So that's nice. But the time that we're there is busy. It's just different kind of work, right? In the season, it's execution. We're making sure that everything's doing what we want it to do. And then in the off season, it's all planning, it's all logistics, it's all that sort of bigger picture stuff. So it's different work. But the off season is a more manageable pace because it's on quote unquote normal hours.
Feb 13 for agency, baby. I can't
Feb
wait.
13.
We'll be doing stuff here.
We got one more text for Dahmer, specifically. Hey guys, ask Evan, with the chipped footballs, have the players been strongly discouraged from tossing a TD ball to the fans?
Yes.
I assume they're still responsible for replacement costs. Yeah. Also, when is the Elks locker room sale?
Locker room sale is on right now online. It runs until, what day is today? Today's Thursday? Friday at noon. Yes, they have been strongly discouraged from throwing the footballs into the stands, and there is a fine associated with
That happened this year, wasn't there?
Gino threw one into the stands.
Was it? It was. I didn't know. Was it? I thought there was another one that wasn't Elks.
A couple
Maybe
other
it was.
teams threw some balls into the stands, and yes.
It's the finest. I thought it was like $75 a ball at one point, and the team started just eating the cost of them, and it was fun.
They're more than $75 now.
Yeah, well, the NHL pucks are like $40 now.
Are they?
Yeah, with the RFID chips in them. So if there's chips in these footballs and they're already $75 before the chips in there.
I'm intrigued the technology behind putting that in where it's not messing with the weight of the football and all of that.
Well, you get like
It's
the weight
in like
and
a
the balance.
suspended bladder inside.
Oh wow.
Yeah, is my understanding.
Do you
Dan,
want to
our
just bring one
equipment
in and
manager-
we'll just cut it open and take a look?
Yeah, I'll just ask Dan if we can bring one in next time I'm on.
I will just dissect it on air and we'll just take a look. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Yeah, whatever.
Thanks for coming in. It's great having you here. It took a while, but we got it done.
I'd say any time, but how about occasionally?
I love that.
Okay, can I just be honest? Like
I'm-
maybe once a week.
You want to know some? Oh, once a week. I love. Okay. I prefer the honesty. The people that say like anytime, it's like, well, careful, because now it's like I expect you on, and like anytime I now ask, and you've now balanced that out where it's I can ask you anytime.
And when I
because
tell you I'll come, unlike some people, I'll be in the building
Yeah.
unless I'm really sick. Maybe he's really sick, and I feel bad saying that.
well, I think we're good. I think him and I are good now.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh.
I've never
He
met.
is so.
You ever
Gager
met
in
Joaquin? Oh, he's a lovely guy. He is awesome.
You won't find a
I've
lot
heard
of
good
people that
things.
meet Gager, I would think, and be like, I don't like that guy.
Yeah.
And he's a
just
goalie,
great.
even like that's rare.
Yeah. And
To have
he
a good guy goalie.
recognizes that he's weird.
That's
There's
good.
the mask.
That's pretty cool, actually.
It is. Yeah, he gave it to us, which is very kind of him. Type of guy he is.
We're lucky. We've got lots of great memorabilia in our building. It's cool.
Coming up next here on Edmonton Sports Talk, it is the Lock Shop. Dusty and Huss will get you set for the Thursday nighter, as well as busy night in the NHL, including Dusty is from Edmonton. You got Huss from Winnipeg. You got a big Oilers-Jets game tonight, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of discussion of Oilers-Jets. Two guys and a goalie, a Dusty, Cass, and I'm hoping Gager from his house, but I'll send them the link. And
Have a
then
hot
later, 4:30, it is the Oil Stream pregame show. I've got that. Dusty's got postgame show. You've got the season finale
We're
of
wrapping
Bozone
Bozone
Live.
Live, yeah.
So busy all around, but keep it locked here to EdmontonSportsTalk.com for those listening on TuneIn as well as on YouTube. Evan, again, thank you for coming in. On behalf of Gager's Mask, Tom Gazzola, Evan Daum, I'm Matt Iwanyk. Thanks for tuning into the EST Hangout. Lock Shop coming up in mere minutes.